now, you won't never.
And when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get in line and do right.
All right, peace and blessings, Assalamu alaikum, shalom, welcome. We are live in our conversation that we're talking about today. Our topic today is assimilation or integration or separation. Who is willing to pay the price? Because you have the three different scenarios, which some may say that some is the same thing, but really it's not. It's very interesting. I have a pair of smart glasses by Meta. I have the Meta smart glasses. And I asked Meta, I said, what is assimilation? And Meta told me what assimilation is. I said, what is integration? And it told me what integration is. I said, well, what is separation? And it told me also what separation was. So I said, so for Black people in America, was integration a hypocritical trick that was played on Black people? And Meta said, yes, it was. And then went to explain how it was. and I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. I was like, wow. Now,
we need to hear that. We need to hear that one. Maybe you play it, people will get it. You
exactly.
It. Man.
It was like mind-blowing that, and I figured that it was going to get the question wrong. You know, they're going to answer wrong. Oh no, y'all been integrated. It's this. I never expected it for it to be truthful.
Ain't that something a computer can tell you? But exactly. But we don't know, really.
Exactly.
Come on, you guys. Exactly.
And so, you know, that is how we got to our topic today: assimilation or integration or separation, and who is willing to pay a price. Because with either situation, there's a price to be paid, good or bad. There's a price to be paid. There's no way of getting around that. The question is, are you willing to pay the price? Now, when we're dealing with assimilation, I think first what we want to do, I want to find the Trevor Noah video. And then, of course, you know, that nigga D.L. Hughley, soon as the thing came up with him, he saw it and he's like, why would you even ask a dumb question like that?
He's so dumb, he don't even know he dumb. D.L. Hughley just don't know he a damn fool. He just don't even know it. You can be dumb or old fool. That's the sad part about it. When you're an old fool and don't know you're an old fool and you just stay foolish and everything come out your mouth about your own, it's just foolish. So nobody even listens to you because they know what you're getting ready to say is about dumb as hell.
Exactly.
He's been that way for a long time, for years.
And you know, I would assume, I don't know, but I would assume that the Democratic Party is paying him well.
Oh, absolutely. Man, absolutely. Shoot, they gave Sharpton what, 500? What 500,000? Ain't that what they gave Sharpton? Oh yeah, sorry. Wow, I can't believe that. I'm like, wow, dang, that's all I got to do is hate my own. I can say what the world. That's why so many people doing this on YouTube. So many people are doing this on YouTube, and I don't think it's something that they really believe or not. Hold on, you guys. Something's not right here. Hold on, you guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is, and so many people, you know, different people weigh in on the conversation and have no earthly idea what they're actually saying. They no matter whether they want to call themselves scholarly this, scholarly that, but they're just as lost as can be. And it's a shame, because then I look and say, this is what scholarship does. This is the real deal with scholarship. Ain't no way.
Yeah, but you saw that. Remember that thing I just sent you that talked about they take our the best, they take our best and they train them. Did you get that I showed you? Play that if you have it. Do you have it? I'll send it if you don't.
Send it to me.
Okay. They said they take our best and it's better for them. Let me let them say it. How about that? They said best. I'm gonna send it to you. Boy, that thing. Whew, if we don't understand these people by now, I swear we ain't gonna get it. I just ain't gonna get it. If you don't understand now, you just ain't gonna get it.
Definitely. And I want to welcome to the program Brother Willie Rivers. Peace and blessings, Brother Willie. We're glad to see you. Maya, peace and blessings, Queen. We are definitely glad to see you as well. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. And also to our Nation of Islam brothers and sisters, happy Savior's Day. Okay. So as soon as I get that, Sister Cassie, let me know so I can pull it up.
Okay, you should have it. I just said, let me know if you got it or.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, man, that thing right there is eye-opening. I swear it's eye-opening. I'm like, I need to post it and keep posting it every day because we need it. We need it front and center to understand how these people think. And I think because they don't call you niggas, you just don't even, you think, oh, they're my friends. They don't have to. It's stuff that they do and stuff that they've set up to let you see how they really feel about you.
Exactly. So let's check it out.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
It's you.
Yeah, that is a very powerful piece.
Man, let's break that thing down right there. Let's break that thing down. A little bit by a little bit. So now do we understand what's going on amongst us? You got a whole lot of folk out there that think the same, that think just like him. They'll pull them out because when you understand, when these babies are honor roll students, they understand it. They see it. And then they got to pull them amongst them on their own because what we do is put them in their schools anyway, right? So that's a little bit of why we integrated with them, because it wasn't about them loving us or wanting to be around us, because they still got their own little thing anyway, right? But what they wanted to do is give you an illusion that you was integrating with them, because they still had separate everything. They didn't hire our teachers. They didn't hire our doctors. They didn't hire our lawyers. They didn't hire anybody Black to teach their children. We sent our children to them, and what they did was took away our power over here. But now, okay, let's teach and train them to think like us. Let's make them safe for us. To get a baby's mind is to get their whole future. So now you look at our kids, it's wild kingdom up in there, but we still don't pull our children away from them. We still don't. We let them educate our children. We have given them 70 years of our babies. And look at our babies. I've never seen it the worst as I've seen it now. They got them in dresses and everything else. Go to Morehouse College. You got more Black men wearing just dresses than you do anything else. That's the saddest thing ever. So they didn't take our teachers. They didn't dare do that, okay? They don't even want their children to be taught our history. As you see, they say, oh, you can't do CRT. That's this, that, and the other is going to hurt our children. But look at what you've been doing to our children for 70 years. So what you do is take our children, you train and teach them here, brainwash them against their own. They think just like them. They're going to fight for them against their own. He said it. And I see it today. Do we not see that, what he said? We see it amongst our own. Look at our Black leaders. Not saying that they're intelligent, but they pulled them into them. And now they said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pay you guys to shut your mouth, look the other way, and sit down and shut up. That's what they're doing. Don't think about doing nothing for your own. Don't think about making no laws. I don't care what it is you see. We're paying you $3 million, $5 million, and you're going to sit down and shut the hell up. And that's exactly what they do. So when they see us police acting a fool with us, ooh, nothing to see over here. Hey, look at over there. Boy, the sky is sure blue. What we doing here? Never even address it. Just like it don't even happen. What's that? Benign neglect. They got paid, sit down, and most of our leaders was the civil rights leaders. Were they not? Karen Bass. Look at her, little sorry ass. Every time I look at her, I want to slap her. There's a whole lot more up there. They go the other way, and they've got paid. Boy, Al Sharpton getting paid every time he breathes. He getting paid, ain't he? And he don't care. But it's a sin to be a coward. That's sinful behavior. That's treasonous behavior. And those people like that need to be dealt with. Those are the ones that we're going to have to take care of before we get to their masters. Because they're going to fight tooth and nail. They're going to fight us tooth and nail before they allow us to hurt their masters. We're going to have to hurt them first. I rest with that one.
Exactly. Understanding the video that we just heard, and it's the same thing how Republicans or Democrats, they're the same coin, just two different sides. And at the end of the day, you're not going to benefit from either side.
Nope.
Because they want to always keep the thing the way it is with them on top and you're on the bottom.
That's right.
And not even give you the ability, nor less the time to breathe and think for your people. Now, when I was listening to it and I thought about it, I can identify with that because that happened to me.
Wow.
Because Maryland, when I was growing up, going in high school, I was in the 10th grade, but they had me in a 11th grade history class. And the teacher had me teaching the class. Now, the rest of the peers didn't know that I wasn't an 11th grader. They didn't know that. They thought everybody in the class was in 11th grade. So I don't know how they made the mistake, but they had me in this class. And the teacher would talk to me. Mr. Vaughn was, I'll never forget, a little small white boy. But he would talk to me in a way to make me feel that I'm better than the rest of my Black classmates. And there was a white girl in that same class as well. She got treated differently. She was, left to the side, teacher's pet or whatever. And it was like, to be very honest, it was like he was building me up to understand that I would always be better than them and to never associate myself with them because they would pull me down. And
Ain't that something? How they, but this is what they do. They are trained to do that. They're trained to do that to our children. So when our children go to their schools and they see one of us being treated different, they look and say, hold on, what's going on? What, who do you think he is? And now you're going to cause the divide and conquer right there. And that's what they do. That's divide and conquer.
Exactly.
Man, he saw the gift at 10. He knew how to choose, pick and choose, pull them apart when you were 10 before you even knew what he was doing. How did you feel when he was doing that?
You know, he's a teacher. He's somebody that I'm supposed to trust. He's somebody that's going to do, you know, teach me the right thing to do. So I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And the strange thing, because I was living with my dad at that time, my dad didn't have a problem with his own son, because that was during the time that I put a little shag in the back and blonde my hair. And my dad never had a problem with it.
Wow.
Never had a problem with it. But when I started to listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, then he had a problem.
Wow.
Then he had a problem. He had a problem with that, a real strong problem. His secretary is the one who gave me my first NOI tape to listen to. He wound up firing her. And, because that pissed his ass off big time that I got that tape. And I never told him where I got it from, but you know, he knew where I got it from. And he fired her. And you know, from that day to now, he has always been trying to get back in business to be, you know, successful, like he was then. And it has never happened.
Nope.
It has never happened. And, you know, it's not going to happen, because he shouldn't have did her like that. She didn't deserve it. But for this teacher to be messing with my mind, is what I like to call it, to give me that perception that I'm better than the other blacks that's in the room, you know, and to treat me like I'm his buddy, you know. And he would, you know, sell candy out of the store, you know. Oh, Maurice, you can go ahead and take care of it, you know. Don't. But he wouldn't. If it wasn't me or the white girl, he wouldn't let no other child, no other, you know, teenager go in that store and deal with the money. But us, he let us go do back and forth with no issue. I never took a test in that class. I never did anything. But I would teach them, the students, the history. And he just sit back at his desk, laughing, joking, and, you know, everything was good. So it gave me a perception that, yeah, I'm definitely better than them. And then for 11th grade, I moved back to Philadelphia and spent the 11th grade up here, and had to go back during my 12th grade year. Now, when I went back, now I've experienced and understood things from a totally different level. Now my eyes are awakened. I done heard Farrakhan, I've seen this, I've seen that. A brother of mine broke shit down to me. Now I can see what the racism really is. So when I get back to Maryland now, you know, he's happy to see me. And, you know, being the president of the debate team, because I was always good at it. But this time when I'm laying out my arguments, the correct way.
Yeah.
You know, letting us see, hey, this is a race issue, and there's a problem between the black and white. And, you know, I overheard him telling another white person, I don't know what happened to him in Philly, but he's not the same anymore. Something happened to him. He's not the same. And when I overheard that, I smiled and laughed to myself, because I said, I'm waking up now.
Yeah, I'm woke.
And that becomes dangerous, because then the librarian, when she heard me telling another student that Jesus was black, when it was time for her to, for me to check my book out, and I get up there and she says, "You make me nervous. You make me nervous."
Okay.
And my thought was, what did I do to make you nervous? I apologize. I'm not trying to make you nervous or nothing, but I made her nervous because that is the pillar that upholds their world and their power. And once we begin to strike at that pillar, and that pillar comes down, their world comes down, their power comes down. So it's essential that we don't mix our words and we speak it straight as it should be, because it is our belief in their system, in their ways, that uphold their world. So their world will continue to be in power as long as we continue to hold it up. So it's things that definitely have to be changed. And I want to welcome Earth Angel 1105 Remix to the program. Peace and blessings, Queen. We are definitely glad that you're here. So, Brother Isaiah, do you have any comments or anything that we just stated?
Yeah, I mean, it's what we've been saying all these years. And that is really simple to understand, and that is knowing your history. And the lies and the deceitful nature of white folk, which I don't like calling them white because they're not, but hold on. But for the simple fact that it is part of the brainwashing and the spell that has been cast upon the world. And that casting or spell has drenched us with the nonsensical error of ignorance and everything that goes along with it. And, when you are tricked into believing what you've been told, and like we said on the show, that it is very vital, important for our kids to be educated by our own people. It is a mistake to allow our people, young kids, preteen, teenagers, to go through all of those years of being brainwashed, and they don't know a damn thing about their own history, their own culture, their own language, their own anything. And to be honest, every fucking culture, language, you name it, is black culture. There is no white culture. So once we begin to recognize that and to see that and to know that these people are blowing smoke up our asses all these years, the gig is up. And now you done pull back the curtain or the widget only to find a little bitch of a man or a bastard of a woman, or the reverse of that, and you bitch slap the shit out of them. There's absolutely positively no reason why we are in this position, due to the fact that our own ancestors told us stay the fuck away from these motherfucking animals. And now look at us. I mean, I'm pretty sure you saw the video last time of white folks making love to trees and shit, and sucking the limb of a tree like it's a dick. This is the mentality of these fucking animals, natural born criminals, and everything else. And we are following along. I'm not going to say we as a total, but whatever percentage it is, we got to wake up to the reality that these people are not the paragons of civilization or morality and anything else. It was and will always be our ancestors, and it must be ours now, and it must be carried forward into the future of the future generation of our people once we're long gone. But if we don't, which I'm quite sure we won't, but if we don't stop listening to these people and start doing to America and to Europe and to every other place that has brought about this negative aspect or casting a spell upon us, it's over with, because just like Angola did with Portugal, it is now the playground of the Angolan citizens and the elite. They can go to Portugal after being colonized for 300 years and be there and be kings and queens. That's literal. So, to be honest, what I'm saying is Burkina Faso is going to do the same thing to France as it did with them, because you know what goes around comes around. You can't escape that law. I did not write that motherfucker, but it's a law that governs everybody on this planet, and it always traces back to who the true nation of Israel is, the Judah, and all of that, and it is not the people. And they are that is the very reason why we are where we are now, because of the fact that we have yet to pay homage to our ancestors, so that all of the blessings that is waiting for us to do so will fall upon our heads, because these motherfuckers, white folks, are living off the fat of the land of our ancestors, the flower beds of Eve, and they have no right to it. And the only way that we can get that right back is by standing up and taking it back. That's it. They're not real Jews at all. They're not real anything. And once we begin to understand that, and I'm just running off the top of my head, that the United States government got to be forced to. I mean, they just started the walk of greatness or something like President. I don't remember the name of it, but it's like a garden of greatness. They're going to start erecting a statue of great African American or Black American figure throughout history. But my God, man, when will we stand up and understand that we created America, we created the 13 colonies, we created the Constitution and wrote that motherfucker, and all of the people who were part of the first, second, and third Continental Congresses, and the 4 or 5, I think it was 4, 5, or 6, I don't remember well, the presidents under the Articles of Confederation were all black. And once again, yeah.
Yeah, I need you to hold when you start talking about all that other stuff, because
Oh no, but I'm just saying. Yeah, but my thing is that if we don't know, we allow this bullshit to continue, it will not break. And the only way to break ignorance is with knowledge of self. That's what I'm trying to say.
How can you prove that all the presidents were black people? So this is where we go back and forth over that, because it's one thing, and I agree that you have to have truth in order to defeat the falsehood. I agree with you 1,000%. But where I disagree is that all the presidents were black people. That's just not factual truth.
That is true. And I covered that. Bro. I'm not gonna look. You know me by now. I'm not gonna be sitting there.
That's why I keep telling you.
No. Let me finish, sir, please.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna be sitting here running my mouth and talking out the side of my neck and my ass about nothing. All of what I said about the transatlantic slave trade was true. These were Jews from Portugal that were sent into slavery from Portugal and Spain after Spain, our rule in Spain ended in 1492. That is a proven fact. It had nothing to do with West African people. Those Portuguese Jews who were black, and I hate saying black Jews because it's the same thing, were all, millions of these people were all sent to West Africa. Period. I mean, when you know, you know. But if you're sitting up here talking about what you don't know, and you still have not let go of the lies,
but
and
but Brother Isaiah, the problem is, now, if you can prove what you're saying to be true, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
you've never proven that. You've never proven that. Even people that you put in the little message box for me to talk to, when I go and question them, they don't come back and say the stuff that you say. Like you said that the transatlantic slave trade never happened, right? I questioned them on that. They said, I never said that it never happened because I believe it did happen.
Who did you talk to?
The people that you sent to me.
Well, I want to know who this person was, because they're the ones who espoused that same not fact that we discussed on Facebook. I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't know for sure. But that, huh?
And see, for me, understanding and knowing our history, understanding and knowing the truth, and being bold enough to say it, that's what I believe 1,000%. So
Right.
when you present me with information, and then I go out to go study the information, I go out to either prove that the information is true or not, right? It's like
Right.
with other information that you sent. When you, for example, the one where you said, oh yeah, they're going to buy this date, they're going to pay all our bills, they're going to pay all our credit cards and all this stuff, right? That date done came and gone, and they ain't did none of that shit that you
No,
said.
but look, no. Yeah,
No, they
I'm not.
didn't do it.
Yeah,
Right?
but well, listen.
Okay.
There have been reports and factual evidence of people whose debts has been canceled and taken off their homes and everything else. Now, I'm not in control of that, but all of what I can say is relate to you and to everybody here. This is happening. There's no more IRS. It's now the External Revenue Service. There's no more Federal Reserve, because it was never federal in the first place. The payment of income taxes was never legal in the first place, because every state has to they got to do something. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It had to be apportioned among the states. That's what I was trying to say. Or remember. So the fact that our money that we think we're paying on our income tax is not going to anything federal. It's going to the Bank of England, and after that, goes to the Vatican. That's where the triangle happens. Washington D.C. D.C. doesn't exist anymore. When you look on the map, it doesn't say D.C. Washington. It just says Washington. Then you go to the England, which is the banking cartel, and all of what is happening from the inception after the Civil War, and then after that, where did the money go? To the Vatican. So this is not something I'm imagining. This is something I know. So when we look at all of the evidence and put all the evidence on the table, what is left must be true. Period. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And all of the presidents being black under the Articles of Confederation, that's not hard to see and to know. It's not. And when you look at all of the people who are a part of that, like Pulaski is a Polish name, but that was a black guy.
What did you say about Washington?
No, there is no D.C. The D.C. Washington, forget that. There's no more D.C.
What do you mean?
There's no more D.C.
You said that's not on the map.
Huh?
You said that's not on the map.
No, when you look at the map, you don't see Washington D.C. You just see Washington.
Okay, let's look at it.
Okay.
Let's look at it. Okay, can you see the map?
No, make it clear.
You need me to go closer?
Yeah.
Okay, you see it says Washington, right?
Right.
You see it says District of Columbia, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's DC.
Okay, but it doesn't exist anymore.
But
the
you
District
said
of Columbia doesn't exist.
This is the point that I'm trying to make. This is the clear point that I'm trying to make. When we say things, you said that DC doesn't exist anymore. Then you said when you look on the map, DC is not even on there. It just says Washington. It shows Washington, and it also shows that this is District of Columbia, and it shows its little boundaries, right? Now, you say it doesn't exist anymore. Are you saying that they done changed the name to something else?
No, I'm just saying that that area, as we know to be D.C., as we know to be Washington, does not exist anymore.
So what are you saying? Because I got family that live there. So what tell me, what are you saying?
Hold on, I'm gonna Google it and the information. Hold on.
Okay.
But until he gets that up, you remember Mandela, the African, the dude in Africa, Mandela and Winnie and all them. Remember when he got captured and how he was such a fighter in the beginning, and he went away for like 30 years. And when he came back, what did they do? Them bastards turned around and made him president because they knew that he wasn't going to hurt them anymore. You see what I'm saying? That white guy said exactly what they did to Mandela. They got him to the point where they brainwashed and they do whatever they did to him. It took 30 years for them to do it. But when he came out, he was a total different man. He left his wife, remember? Him and Winnie was, they separated. The kid, I mean, he was not even, it was almost like he was the body snatchers. It was almost like the old Mandela had died and he was president, and they said, okay, now we can trust this nigga to do what we want him to do. They had him by the balls. I mean, everything, he was totally not even the same man. It was disgusting. I'm like, man, you should have died 15 years, 30 years ago because of what they did. They literally killed him mentally and spiritually. They destroyed him. Then they turned around and masqueraded him like, look what we did. Boy, that page just ate me up when I saw it. I was like, look at but they told you what they do to us, though. They told you. They tell you what they do to black leaders. They tore that man down and made him a zero.
Exactly.
And it was so disgusting with the way they paraded him around. And I was like, oh my.
And then for him to come after his ex-wife, Winnie Mandela,
did you see that?
Nasty, dirty fucking way.
Man, I couldn't believe. I'm like,
oh my God, that hurt.
Totally, man, it made me just sick to my stomach. Every time I saw him, I was like, them devils, they destroyed him and then paraded him to show you what they did. Man, that was I said, boy, them devils. He didn't even, I don't know if he got it, he understood it, or what. I don't know, but how do you become, this B1? Then you turn around and you become such a nothing.
I think it's and I think it's the same thing that they did to Huey Newton when he was locked up. They had to work on him. They worked on him mentally, and unfortunately for Huey, he gets out and he's on drugs, and it doesn't do good when they get you behind them walls.
Yeah, man.
They begin to work on you. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know they have a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
So they got to get it done and get it done quick.
Man, they destroyed. That was the worst though. It took 30 years though. They gave 30 years, and he was a little sponge. He was a nothing. It was so disgusting. I'm like, dude, you should have died 30 years ago. If you was gonna go out like this, he went out like a punk. I swear he went. It was so disgusting. He didn't do nothing for them black folk. Nothing changed. He just told to be a president. It was sickening because he reminded me of Obama. That's exactly what he reminded me of. He didn't do nothing for them people. He changed nothing. I was like, you should have just killed yourself.
Exactly.
I swear to go out. I'd rather be dead. I swear I'd rather be dead than to go out looking like that or nothing. He didn't fight for his people, didn't change nothing, did nothing different. And I was like, do you even see yourself? Then when I saw him going against Winnie, I was like, now I know you're done. Exactly. You're done. But that dude, I mean, that what we heard was the most mind-blowing thing ever. And if black folk could just hear that every day, that needs to be played in our schools. That needs to be played at bedtime with our children. Let's do our morning prayer, play that. Let's do our evening prayer, play that. Let's do our lunch for grace, play that. So we can get it up here what those people are really about.
Definitely. I want to share screen to help Isaiah real quick. Because I Googled it, like you said, Brother Isaiah. So I asked Google the question, does DC exist? And as you can see, it says, yes, Washington, DC exists. It is the capital of the United States and is located between Maryland and Virginia. So I don't know exactly where you get all your information from, but you said Google it. I Googled it, and boom, it does exist. So, I would just say, just check, double check, triple check with the information that you're given before you come out, because when you're challenged on it, there's never a win. But I want to be able to go ahead and get into our program. Now,
well, can I respond to that before you go on? Is that a quick minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Washington, D.C. D.C. has always been a part, has always been a separate part in America from America itself. America, as you know, exists as 50 states that's supposed to be and is a legitimate state according to what we know, right? So
No,
when you're looking at, huh?
DC is not. DC
No, I'm
is
not saying
not.
I'm not saying D.C. is a state.
Oh, I thought I heard you
What
say
I'm saying
DC.
is no. There are 50 states. Washington, D.C. or D.C. is not one, even though
Exactly.
they might want to try to be a state. But the idea is that when the cabal under the Rothschilds, under the banking cartel in America and the Vatican took root after the Civil War and laid claim to the for the amount of money that was lent back to America, it made them susceptible to a whole nother cabal. With the banking cabal, you get the birth of the Federal Reserve, the birth of the IRS, and all these other entities that were taking place in D.C. So D.C. has never been a part of America as we know her to be today. So it is an illegal entity that was created in regard to making that triangular, how I want to put it, making that triangular connection from America to Britain and the Vatican. That is where that concept is from. It has nothing to do with America at all. It has everything to do with the theft and the thievery of what was going on in America from the end of the Civil War until today. So that's the story behind that. So if you want some more information, I can be more than happy to send that to you. You can see it for yourself.
I mean, I mean, anything that you have to send that's real, I'm gonna read it and go through it.
Yeah.
Then Earth Angel, she says he's speaking of the U.S. of America was a corporation, is dissolved, being the reversal back to the first ever signed treaty of 1700s. It's not the District of Columbus anymore. Well, I don't know about those things. Y'all would have to send me the information so that I can look into it and to see whether or not it's factual or not. I've heard those things, but nobody have ever proven those things exist. So,
I proved that. But I proved that in my book, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the idea is that in 2017, I do believe, what's the word, the legal word for it? That the corporation, as we know her to be today, America Corporation, dissolved. It went bankrupt. So what we are now facing and living in is the Republic of America, which is what has been going on over the last, almost 8 years now. So with Trump coming up with, what he had done, I don't know if anybody in the chat had seen him going through the world, and especially in Europe and the Vatican, and just taking all of the gold and bringing that back to America. So he brought hundreds of uh, he brought hundreds of thousands of pounds, or I don't know how you weigh it, but of gold from the Vatican. Man, the Vatican is done with. The Rothschild and the banking cartel, all of that is done with, and it's just a slow grind. But what we're going to see now is the resurrection of the republic, not America, the corporation. Is dead and gone. So all of the things that has been going on since then, and especially now since he's been in office, is a resurrection. Is a resurrection. Huh?
When did the corporation come into existence, and when did it end?
Oh, well, it ended in 2017, but it came into existence with the swapping of the original Constitution that said the republic. Is it of America, or the republic for America, not of the U.S. Constitution that we know to be today? Is the U.S. Is the U.S. I'm sorry. Is the we hold it as the United States Corporation for of America, not for. So the republic Constitution is for America. The fake corporate entity is of America. So that's the distinction. And it seems similar, it looks similar, but it's not. But it put us into a state of slavery, because when you look at your birth certificate, it's all in capital letters. That's not how it's supposed to go. And all of your wealth is on that document. It's being traded on the stock exchange, worth millions. Now, what we know and I'm going to say what I am know about, but not specifically, that document or the birth certificate that's been created is worth millions of dollars, and we're supposed to be getting that back. So, but take it as you will.
Yeah,
It runs deep, man. It's not no, one day, 1 week, 1 month, we're talking about over 100 years.
Yeah, but this is my thing, right? When people say these things, I would expect them to be able to go to it and prove, immediately. It shouldn't be be something that takes 30, 40 an hour to get the information. If it's there, then you should be go bop 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 bop, and people can go right there and follow on. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. It's just not the case, and I don't know the origins of all of this stuff. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who's the person who first started saying half of this. I just don't know. But I do know people that I've heard it from, and after me questioning them, I don't walk away from them saying, "Yeah, you're right," because they've never been able to prove anything that they say. Is just like you're saying now. You're saying this stuff, but when but
remember when I was telling you that America didn't win the war in 1776, and you were like, "Oh, come on, they won. We won. What are you talking about?" No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. And we talked about that in depth, basically, to the extent in which I could show you that were true, and I sent that information to you, but you still brushed it off. But that's going to be that's a talking point. That's a factual statement. That's not a hypothesis.
So, but let me ask you. I'm gonna ask you this and let you wrap it up, and then we're gonna get on with the program.
Okay, go ahead. But
your basis for saying that we did not win, or not we, but America did not win the Revolutionary War that gave America its freedom from Britain. You're saying that they didn't win. America didn't win based on what?
America didn't win the war.
Based on what?
Based on what do you mean? Based on what? The war was fought between who? Britain and
America.
Okay, and America.
Right.
Let me see. I think that was King I think that was King James. Yeah, that was King James who was sitting on the throne. That was the Black King, by the way.
That was King
Oh,
George.
the idea. No, well, listen.
On the throne during the war, it was George on the throne.
It was King George.
Yes.
Okay. So whoever it was, that was his son. And then his grandson managed it afterwards. So when we're looking at that, you're gonna have to realize that the 13 states were being colonized by Britain along with other entities later on. But during that time, King Charles and the colony made it a point that, hey, we're not going to be here. We can't afford to have a standing army here for forever and a day. So they left the land to the colonists, but the debt of which they owed to England and the royal family and King Charles and all of the progeny that after that proved to be overwhelming in regard to what little America could afford. They could not afford to, pay off the debt that was due and owing to King Charles and England, and I think the Bank of England at that point. So it was just a matter of time before they, came to the conclusion. Hold on. That it was best to get out of America, pack it up, but also leaving a certain amount of regiment behind, and that's the reason why Britain burned down the White House and other things that took place. But it was never a place where they came to a conclusion that, hey, you guys won. How can they win? But dictating the people who dictating the treaty was England. And the lawyers on that side, I think it was Thomas, it was Thomas Jefferson and a whole slew of other people who were so-called operating on both sides, representing America and England. That cannot be. How can you be an American and you representing America, Thomas Jefferson and others who signed, the Declaration of Independence and other things that went along with that, and then also representing the English side as well. So that's not how it goes. But in the end, England dictated everything. And if you are the victor, if America was the victor, they wouldn't be dictating the treaty. It was England. So that's how you know. And I sent that information to you too. They're not going to say, well, America won. No, it's not worded like that. But when you're reading it, you're coming across a whole different, I don't know, terminology or understanding. But America was being dictated to by England, not the other way around. I rest my case too.
All right, thank you, dear brother. I don't want you to say that I didn't allow you to finish.
Well, but it go deeper than that. But we don't have time. So
with your alternative facts.
Well, I love you too, but it's not alternative facts. But if we want to go into it later, we can have a show about it. I don't have a problem.
We'll dance on that. We'll definitely dance on that.
Okay.
No problem. And I want to welcome Earthman to the program. Peace and blessings, Earthman. We're glad you're here. And now we're going to go ahead and get into our topic. So we're going to get this up and get this going. Whoops. All right.
Trevor Noah gives a controversial take on racial integration. Here it is.
Do you think that integration was the right move? Like, and now I'm separating two things, because I know in America people are like, well, of course, I mean, there was racism and there's segregation, and I go, yeah, no, I'm separating them. Let's separate someone being oppressed and someone not being able to get a job and someone not being able to get bank loan. Let's take all of those, the negative things away, because I'll put myself out personally and say, I think whether we're talking about gifted kids who are anomalous, let's say, to the norm, whether we're talking about and I mean anything that does not fit into a category. I think part of the reason Finland is able to do it is because, have you been to Finland?
It's very homogeneous.
I've been to Finland. You know who's in Finland? Finnish people. That's it. That's it. And because they're all Finnish, there's an idea of like, no, we all head in the same direction. We all know what our actions mean.
Now he's posing this to his guest, who's a professor and Princeton professor, Ruha Benjamin, discussing the issue of integration and really the morality, the morality of the implementation of it, or is it right? Was it right? Done right? Is it wrong? Could it have been done better, et cetera? So his guest makes the argument that integration wasn't the only option and that it didn't ultimately serve Black people to be integrated into institutions and systems that were riddled with anxiety, hierarchy, and white supremacy, okay? So understand the genesis of the conversation, all right? Conversation continues.
Now, even if you shout at me, I know what your shout means. The same way an Italian knows what an Italian shout means.
Yeah.
Right? I know I'm prefacing it with a lot because it's a loaded question.
Yes.
But I would love to know if you think integration was the right solution, maybe, on the other side of, you know, what America, of civil rights.
Yeah. No, I don't. And I don't think it's actually that controversial when, if you understand that segregation and integration weren't the only options. Like within those two options, it may seem like integration is the more progressive. Like, of course, we don't want segregation. But again, when you're being integrated into institutions, into a culture that's a supremacist culture, that's a culture that feeds off of hierarchy, that feeds off of insecurity, anxiety, why are we being integrated into that?
Now, once the clip went viral, reactions became, well, plentiful. And D.L. Hughley said it may be the stupidest thing he's ever heard. Here it is.
That may be the stupidest thing I've ever. And first off, I've heard enough from South Africans this year. That's enough. I'm like, between Elon Musk and Trump, I don't need to hear about race from two dudes from South Africa. I heard enough. Black schools and HBCUs and our system exist. And she could have said that virtually about every system that exists in America, from policing to banking to housing. Every single one is inundated with white supremacy. All of it. So, and the thing that I find that I resent the most is that our story always starts in the middle. HBCUs came as a result of what we couldn't have. Everywhere we live, every Black neighborhood is where we were told to live. So what America tends to do is act like it's so long ago. Yes, they don't wear hoods and maybe they don't do the things that they did before, but some of it is still so entrenched, so some is so insidious that I think that people, this is my honest assessment of it. I don't think most white people agree with the motives of white supremacists and white nationalists. I don't think they like their words, but I think they agree with their goals, which is to keep white people in charge.
It's an interesting argument, obviously an argument that has been argued before. Let me provide some contextualization in my opinion. One, I think we're arguing about two distinct dynamics, but we're contextualizing it in an improper way. Integration. I would not necessarily say integration is an evil in itself or was an evil in itself as it relates to racial integration or cultural integration. The problem is that never happened. America never engaged in the process of integration. It's a category, it is a brand. What really happened was assimilation. And assimilation is when you must take on the culture of whatever you're being assimilated to. Assimilation is not integration. Integration can be a very harmonious and very beautiful system operating within the confines of strengths upon strengths. But that's not what it was. It was an assimilation where the same complex that created the segregation was now part of the assimilation protocol. And that was what actually happened, branding aside. Dr. King even echoed the sentiment that he felt as if he was telling Black people to basically integrate into a burning home, a house on fire. All right. So why is he saying this toward the end, right before the end of his journey on this earth with us? Because he's realizing some things. He's realizing that the same structures that created the segregation were holistically in charge of what they then called integration, making it not integration at all, but making it a form of assimilation. All right, hope that makes sense. So Trevor Noah, quote, Trevor Noah almost certainly lives in a nearly all-white neighborhood, LMAO. One user wrote on X, used to be Twitter. Another person wrote, let Trevor Noah go back to South Africa and apartheid. If a white celebrity or professor promoted segregation, they would never host a Grammy and they'll be labeled a racist and fired. Blacks don't have camaraderie. We're real connection is based on culture, mutual goals and interests, said another. But some obviously coming to his defense and the argument that was presented. MAGA is going to be posting this as owning Trevor Noah, but he brings up great points. America was so racist that integration was very complicated. That's what he's saying, wrote one user. Another quote, Trevor Noah would probably be president if he was American. He's basically the second coming of Obama, another user said. Another person, Samson of Spite. People completely missing the concepts that Trevor Noah is talking about. It's hilarious. He's not saying segregation is the answer. He's saying that integration of a group into a system that is racially biased and structured to hold the middle and lower class down is doomed to fail, another user said. And we're able to talk about this in hindsight. Those who are fighting for equality were really fighting for equitable opportunities. We called it equality. I got to break this down. We called it equality. Even Dr. King started to change that message toward once again the end of his journey. We're fighting for equality. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the branding of the word equality. Equal is a mathematical symbol. Let me start there. When you measure equality in a social construct, you must have a measure of what equality looks like. So the measure became white men. You must be equal to white men in order to have equality. That became the paradigm. I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm breaking down what we understand in hindsight. The paradigm became, once you can achieve the same thing that a white male can achieve, you are thus equal. And so to do this, we had to thus integrate or assimilate into systems that white men were accepted in. So we needed to shop where they shopped. We had to eat where they could eat. We had to go to hotels that they were allowed to go to that we were not historically allowed to go to. Necessary process, yes. The accessibility, the dynamics of access needed to be there, but these are accessibility dynamics. These are places that we can access based on corporate dynamics. Can we go there? Yes, we can go there now. Can we commune there? Yes, we can. Can we assemble there? Yes, we can. That has very little to nothing to do with actual rights, freedoms, respect, equitable outcome. Dr. King put it best when he said, while we're fighting for equality, I'm looking for, and he termed it sincere, authentic equality. And then he provided the context for that statement. He says, it's one thing to sit where you want to sit in a restaurant. It's another thing to own it. That came from Dr. King. Now, they won't promote that, but it did happen. It's in an interview. You can find it yourself. It's easily there. So that contextualization even started with Dr. King, understanding it's not for lack of good faith on behalf of those who are good faith operators. It's the implementation protocol. All right, Jackson. An interesting conversation, needed conversation, and obviously a conversation that requires significant nuance and context. What say you?
Yeah, I think it was really good the way that you described it. What happened here was less integration and more assimilation, because what we're really talking about is a broader discussion on infrastructure. So, you know, before I get to here, like I'll use what Trevor was talking about, like Finland. Not only is Finland more homogenous, but it's very small compared to the United States, which is an empire that was built on immigration. And so there's no real American culture. American history is what America we talking about. We talking about the Confederacy. We talking about 13 states. We talking about the French-owned colonies, the Spanish-owned colonies. We talking about the native tribe lands. There's so much history that happened here. America really is a new idea built upon people of cultures from elsewhere. And so when you talk about things like universal health care or something like that, it's harder for us to get on board with any type of broad policy because you're dealing with a much bigger landmass and a much bigger body of people that are not homogenous. So first, we got to talk about the empire in that regard. But then if you look at like integration and assimilation here, again, that's more of a conversation about infrastructure. For instance, you know, what happened in the inner cities across the Rust Belt in the South in this country is industry simply moved to the suburbs. You know, like you used to have townships that were built for 30 or 40,000 people. Now there's 5,000 or 6,000 people living there. And so the school systems have no access to real funding. There's no good jobs. There's no real economy there because the economy just moved. And so these problems have solutions such as consolidating people into areas, just flat out knocking down huge areas of inner cities with these rotten vacant buildings that are doing absolutely nothing. These school districts that aren't worth a damn, getting rid of them, consolidating people into smaller groups. So there are a lot of solutions to these problems. But when people think about like, oh, well, why can't the Black community just come together? Well, it's spread out now. You know, a lot of it is spread out in the suburbs. And then when you go to the cities, again, you don't have any infrastructure. And so there used to be like Byron Donalds, he said stuff like during Jim Crow, the Black family was together. So he may be talking about stuff like how you had bigger Black neighborhoods in inner city areas where you had Black banks, Black grocery stores, Black everything. But those often were areas that's the only place Black people could be. You couldn't move outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So then as you were talking about assimilation, people had access to maybe get hired here, maybe move to a house out here, and then these communities just rotted away. So, you know, we're not Finland. We're not a country of 20 million people. I don't know how many people are there. We're a country of 330 plus million people from here, there, and everywhere, which is why I always talk about local politics to get involved in your backyard.
All right, so there we have it. You heard Trevor Noah ask his guest. You heard Dr. Ritchie put his 2 cents. You heard his guest put his 2 cents. And you also heard D.L. Hughley put his 2 cents. So let's come to you. Says Cassie, what is your 2 cents?
Wow. This was so good. Oh my God. I don't even know where to start. Oh my God. This was so good. Okay. With Trevor, for instance, you have to understand where he grew up and how he grew up.
Okay.
In South Africa, you have 2 types of Black people. You have the coloreds and you have Black folk. Okay. Now the coloreds, which is who he is because he's mixed, right? They grew up totally different. They don't have the same experience as Black people, right? Just like white folk, you know, it's all different, right? Black people. So when he's looking at it from a total, he can't even fathom the Black people's part of it. So he's speaking from the part of where he has experienced it. So we can experience it and look at it totally different than him. But he can't even look at it the way we've experienced it because he's never experienced it that way. Mm-hmm. So with us and with them talking about integration, segregation, or separation, segregation, assimilation, what we did and what Martin Luther King had us to do was assimilate, right? That was to, and what that, and I had to look it up to see what was it. So what I'm looking at when it says assimilate is the process of becoming similar, okay, to others by taking in and using their customs and cultures. That's what we did for them, with them. They didn't do anything. White folk didn't change nothing. Black folk came to their schools and changed who we are. We gave up everything because we had ownership. We had exactly what Martin Luther King was talking about giving us. We already had it. By living over here, we had our own economics, we had our own jobs, we had our own businesses, we had our own homes, we had everything. All we needed was the equality part of it. The economics we had it all. We could have gotten more. So by us coming together with them, we gave everything away. We started from scratch and we assimilated. We didn't fight for economics. We could have stayed separate and been equal. Because as we look at Black Wall Street, those black folk was moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what them crackers looked at and they said, hold on here. Whoa, how they getting ahead of us? Them crackers didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to build nothing. They didn't know how to establish nothing. They didn't know anything. Them black folk was whipping rips wings around them. And that's when they was looking over there saying, oh, no, we can't have them black folk getting ahead of us. So that's when they went and did what they did. But if we had stayed separate, we could have built up our schools. We'd have been educating our own babies. We'd had our own neighborhoods. We had our own buses, everything. You stay over there, crackers. We're going to stay over here and we're going to build. But you got to give us the same money that you give them. Mm-hmm. You give us the same money. That's equality. Okay? That's ownership. That's equality. That's economics. But that's not what MLK argued for. He argued for us to go over there and hold hands. I want to hold hands with you. I don't even want to be around you. And black folk had no more better sense than okay, you gave up everything. They didn't take any of your teachers. They didn't take any of your doctors. Everybody lost their jobs and lost the power. And that's what the most important thing was. They wanted black folks' power. They wanted their money. And we was dumb enough to do it. But you have all these black folk and nobody could think of that. Nobody in this earth thought about, if we go over there, we're going to be up under them. Because they're not taking none of our people. They're wanting to, why would you allow people that don't like you to educate your children? You got our babies' minds. Look at our children now. For 70 years. Look at our kids. I don't know how you're going to fix that. You didn't have our babies for 70 years and tore. I don't even know how you can fix that. You look at that and you be like, I have to shake my head. Because a lot of black folk, grown folk now that's in their 30s and 40s, they think totally opposite than the ones like us. They think totally different than you and I, Maurice. Mm-hmm. They think totally different. My daughters they don't understand. They don't see it. We totally dropped the ball. We dropped the ball for our children. Mm-hmm. Our baby's so confused right now. They looking at these crackers, they dating them, they marrying them. But what do you expect when you come together? But you never explain. Now look, you come together, these are not the same people. They don't believe like you, they don't think like you, they don't feel like you. Those are not our people. That we don't think the same way. We don't act the same way. Nothing about this is the same. We might both bleed red, but guess what? We don't think we're not the same people. We don't even serve the same God because they believe in what? Revengeance is theirs. They believe that they can go church, come out church, have a picnic, hanging all the niggas they can and burn them alive. We don't think like that. So that ought to told you we don't think like that. The more people that got hung was the ones that didn't have guns in their neighborhoods. The ones that had the guns their neighborhoods were KKK. They didn't go there and bother them people with guns. They messed with them dummies that didn't have none. So instead of us understanding what was really going on, and even with Trevor, like I said, he would never understand what Black folk experience because he never experienced it. Because right now he probably live in a white neighborhood because he can afford it. So he's still not thinking like blacks. He's still not thinking about like Black folk. So he can never get there. But with that, I'm gonna rest my mic.
Well, let me ask you, Sister Cassie, because I typed in what Black leaders were opposed to integration, and one that they put up was W.E.B. Du Bois, that he was opposed to integration. Yeah.
But wasn't he a boule? Wasn't he the one that got who's that dude? Marcus Garvey in trouble? Didn't he work against Marcus Garvey? He was the one that got Marcus Garvey in trouble.
Well, I don't know to go as far as to say he got Marcus Garvey in trouble.
Well, he was working against him. That's who they sent out against Marcus Garvey.
They were definitely not on the same page.
Right.
They were fighting each other. But interesting because Marcus Garvey died in Europe, but W.E. Du Bois died in Africa. So it seems like a sort of change took place.
Mm-hmm.
But do you believe that we could be separate but get the equal opportunity? Like, would there have been Black police officers if not for integration? Would there have been Black?
Absolutely. I do believe, yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you why I think the way I think. I think if you talk about separate but equal, that means I got my police officers, I got my everything. Because I'm sure we had police officers in those Black communities. I'm sure we had all that. You know, we was taking care of each other. I think it would have been totally different. I wouldn't have had my Black self, if I was a police officer and I'm working with white folk, I wouldn't have had to go over there and impress them. I wouldn't have had to go over there and integrate with them and be mean to my own because I'm in my own community, and I'd have still been able to, hey y'all, how y'all doing? We good today? And we'd have known each other. And, oh, that's Cassie. You know, that's Beth Bertha's boy. He good. Leave him alone. Come on over here, boy. Let's do so. You see what the difference was? The difference was we would have been integrated with our own. And we would have been thinking totally different. By us coming together with them, we totally changed our thinking. Look at our leaders now, and look at the leaders that we had back in the day. We had some good leaders that thought about Blackness first and being Black first. And, you know, we had those leaders. But what happened was we integrated with fools. We done came in these fools, these demons and devils, and now we act just like their asses. We act just like them demons and devils because transference. We cannot be among somebody and a little bit of them not rub off. You got more Black men raping, and you know, you got a whole lot of stuff going on now that you didn't have in our communities. We didn't have a whole lot of this crazy stuff that you see now going on. We had to stay separate and equal. We knew how to take care of each other. We appreciated each other. We loved each other. We was proud to be Black and proud. Yes. But until you integrated and came up out of your own Black self, now we trying to act like them. Now we walking our dogs, our little poodles. We had no dogs in the house. Dogs stayed outside back in the day. So now what you got? You got a whole bunch of Black folk trying to act white, trying to act like them because they get the dollars acting like them. Malcolm X wasn't getting no dollars acting like them. Malcolm X was, you know, getting the finger, right? Because a lot of Black folk didn't like Malcolm X. They did in the beginning, but in the end, they was like, oh no, that brother too Black. Oh no, we can't do that. He gonna get us all killed, even though you was dying anyway. So the thinking began to change once we came together with them. But I do believe that things would have been a whole lot better. We'd have been at the top by now. I guarantee you that, because we wouldn't have had our minds tampered with. We would have still been teaching our Black kids. We'd have had our Black marriages. We'd have had our Black this, that, and the other. And there's certain things that we wouldn't have came away from, like the music. We would still have our Black music because we're going to stick amongst our own. We're going to uplift our own, and we're going to love on our own. I think that coming together with them totally disrupted everything. Everything. Because God ain't never tell us to come together with these people. Mm-hmm. He never tell us to come. He never tell us that. Malcolm X told you. Who told you that your nose was big? They did. We was fine with our nose when we was over there looking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't had no problem with our noses being big, our little locks. We ain't had no problems with nothing. We didn't have no problem with one being darker than the other. When we got around them, we had a problem with our hair. We had a problem with our nose. We had a problem with our color. We had a problem with our shapes. We had problems with everything. Nothing about us correct. Because they wanted you to look like them white women. Who can't look like them?
Mm-hmm.
Don't care how you bring us together. You never, honey, they not no you can't even, honey, there's no competition. Period.
Definitely. And so I want to welcome Sheila Neal to the program. Peace and blessings, Sister Sheila. We're glad you're here. And Sister Cassie, to your point, it says that in the 1940s, Black police officers were segregated in separate and unequal facilities and did not have the same police powers as white officers. For instance, in Atlanta, the other police departments across the country, Black officers could not exercise power over whites. Only could only patrol Black neighborhoods.
But see what I'm saying? If we had stayed with our own, we didn't need no guns because we knew how to act. We got over there and got with them devils and demons. But like you said, we couldn't shoot at them. We couldn't do anything. So why would you even want to join their force? You didn't even have the same rights. Even today, there are two different unions. They have a Black union and a white union. Why, if we working together, do I need a Black union and a white union? Tell me that. Why?
Exactly.
I'm just saying. It never came together. Not the way we thinking. Because it was still separate. It's still separate and not equal. Remember them two Black dudes that shot the white dude and killed him? They got 20 years each, right? But then the white cops shoot into the Black folk car and they get off. No problem. What was that dude named? The Ethiopian boy. Wait a minute, the Muslim. He shot the woman and killed the white woman.
Yeah, he killed the white woman.
Right? But she walked up to the car and he scared him to death. He shot her, not meaning to. It wasn't even, he didn't mean to shoot the woman. But he got 12 years. But how many police officers, white police officers, mean to shoot our Black boys, shooting into the police cars and get no time? Don't tell me. I guarantee you if they had stayed separate, it'd have been totally different. It would have been so different. And I'm almost mad because I never see it. Because we can see how it was before.
Exactly.
It was fine. We didn't need no guns. We knew, Bertha boy, I'm gonna call your mama, tell your mama to come get you. Ain't that right? We ain't no guns. We need no guns. Because I'm gonna call your mama and it works. Oh, please don't call mama. Don't click. Oh, don't call mama. You already know. You calling mama, you getting a whooping, right? You gonna get towed up. Please don't call mom and daddy. Because we had marriages, we had families. We were loving on each other. We cared about each other. We watched each other's children. We didn't have no molestations and we didn't have all that crazy stuff until we got with them.
Nope.
Rest of my life. I tell you, that was the worst thing we could have did, coming together with them demons.
So do you think that how do you see that progressing? Because if you have the white cops would be able to come into the Black neighborhoods and do whatever they wanted to be able to do. And since Black cops didn't have power over the white cops, how do you see that would have been able to be handled?
I believe that if we had stayed where we are, you stay in your neighborhood. What you coming over here for? We're not doing that. We're not coming to your neighborhood. You stay over there on your side of the tracks, and we're going to stay over here on our side of the track. We're going to put our monies into our schools. We're going to put our tax money, but we're going to be equal. If the government is giving out some money, if we need to, I have a Black government, you have a white one, same money is going to get distributed. We're going to give you the Black folk money over here. We just gave the white folk money for rural whatever development. Okay, we're going to give Black folk money. Plain and simple. We ain't got to come with y'all. We're totally separate. It's what we should have did. Ain't no way in the hell we should have came together with them. Because now you ain't getting nothing. They get white folks stuff, got a stipulation why you can't have none. They gave the white farmers money, Black farmers, they gave money, but when they put it out there and then somebody did a lawsuit so Black farmers can't get nothing. That was just a symbolism. Just like we just seen Trump gave Tiger Woods a trophy. That dude, what kind of moral whatever is that? You gave this dude a trophy who's sleeping with prostitutes. That's the moral, that's the best you can do. That's a symbolism. Write the check. I was looking for a check. You tell me you ain't gonna forget. I'm looking for a check. What check at? You can keep that. Right. You ain't giving me, I can't wear his trophy. Give me my money. write me a check that show me how you really appreciate black folk voting for you. Because he said I'll never forget, right? So he gave you Tiger Woods and put a thing around his neck. That ain't helping me. I can't spend that. I can't go to the bank with that. I can't go and buy me. I can't do nothing with that. So no, I don't, separate, like I said, separate but equal. You got laws for black folk, same laws you got over there for white folk. Same money you just gave to them, you get a black folk. And let our leaders, who I really believe would have been black leaders, and we would have held them accountable. Because we used to hold our leaders accountable. They listened to the people back then because they knew if they didn't, they knew what was going to happen. And they listened. They listened. So I think things would have been totally different. Oh, we would have outbuilt them. We would have outlasted them. We'd have been on top of them. That's why they stopped that. They had to stop it because they said, look at them, look at them black folk growing over there. Look what they did in Black Wall Street. We was getting down. We was own business owners and we was rolling. We was working that thing, honey. And they said, oh no. They thought we weren't gonna be about nothing. They thought we was gonna still live in them ghettos. We started growing and started getting our own business, started getting our own home, getting our own land. They was like, we gotta stop them niggas. No, man, no, sir. No, sir. And then here comes little Martin Luther King. Doop, 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 doop. I had a dream. They should have said, you take that shit back over there somewhere. I don't give a damn about that dream because that dream don't sound right. Nobody had sense enough to think. Nobody had sense enough to decipher what that dream was gonna do. Nobody could think ahead. Really? How did that happen? I'm gonna go and fight for somebody. I'm gonna sit it. I got my own restaurant. Why I need to come and fight to sit at yours? Why I need to give you my dollar for you to spit in my drink? Why did I need to come to your restaurant for you to slap my hamburger on the floor, step on it, and then pick it up and fry it and give it to me? Why do I have to pay you for that? I don't even trust you. I know you don't like me, but I'm gonna come and sit and you're gonna spit in my face for me to eat. What the hell? Did nobody have no sense in them days? Nobody?
No way. Ain't no way.
I don't understand that. I don't know how in the hell that happened. They had some dummies back in them days. We drop the ball, black folk.
Most definitely.
And then black folk get mad because we talk about this man who brought you together and put you in a hole that you still in today.
Exactly. And the officer you're talking about is Muhammad Noor.
Yes.
That's the police officer.
Yes. Did you know how much money that family got? The most anybody, like 20 million? It was a lot. It was more than any family. How much was it? Marcus, look that up. I think she got like 20 million, if I'm not mistaken. She got that family got more money than any other family that I've seen. She got a lot. Her family got a lot of money. I mean, it was a lot. And they settled like that. They didn't have to wait years. Everybody else got, 500,000. I think Breonna Taylor mom got 12. So I think that white woman got like 20 million, if I'm not mistaken. But everybody else
got 20 million.
Okay, 20 million. Who else? Ain't nobody else got no 20 million. You got 500,000. Breonna Taylor, her mom got 12. And I think that's the highest for black folk. Other than that, they was getting 500,000, 300,000. They were millions, nothing. Million, nothing. I ain't seen nobody get no million, nothing. But I'm telling you what, they took care of that white woman, didn't they? Her family.
Yeah. Welcome William Bell to the program. Peace and blessings, Brother William. We're working on getting Doc back. We had a problem with our Friday program. I couldn't keep up on Friday, so we're restructuring the program. We should have Doc back shortly. And one more thing that I wanted to say about that. When the board versus Brown versus the Board of Education, and that is the thing that ushered in going to the same schools and all that was the decision. Now they say that their lawsuit was because they wasn't receiving equal funds like they should be receiving. So now we know that Trump is trying to get rid of the Department of Education, and money's supposed to be going to the children to go to whatever school or whatever. With this being the case now, Sister Cassie, do you see Black people coming to do their own schooling, since now this has become, a more viable choice, since the head school board is being demolished?
You know what? I see more Black folk arguing and fussing and fighting about what Trump is doing, but I see it as a blessing. I see it as a blessing. This is a great opportunity because he said he's going to give each family that homeschool their children $10,000. Hey, if I had some kids, I'd go homeschool them. I'm just saying, that's a great opportunity, Black folk. But we so busy arguing because, he took away CRT. I don't give a damn. Go have your own school and teach your CRT. You don't even have to call it CRT. You got your own schools. Don't even call it a school. Call it a learning tree, a learning center. Totally separated from schools. Then you can teach whatever you want. Zayek's Institute out there in DC, New York, teaches his own kids, has his own school. He's a Black. Okay, we got learning tree. We got other schools, Black folk that have their own schools. This is great. I think right here, right now. But I think Black folk are so used to being around white folk. We don't want to do nothing for ourselves. We don't want to do that, even though we know, because we've experienced the hardship and the hatred and the rage and the traumas of being mixed up with these demons and devils. We've experienced it. Our children have experienced. Our children are PTSD. Our children are traumatized. Our children deal with rage and hatred every single day of their life, being in their schools.
Mm-hmm.
But we see this and we still do nothing. That's the saddest thing to me. That is the saddest thing. Now you have an opportunity, family, to get your own schools, get some teachers together, get some principals together, and create your schools. You have the money to do that. Let's see if you really care about your children, because this is a great opportunity to do it. Let's see if you're going to really do it or not, because he's giving you the opportunity. What you going to do with it?
Definitely. Brother Isaiah, did you want to add anything before we go to our next point?
Yeah, I thank you for speaking, because I had to wash these damn dishes before I get home, before my wife get home. I'd be cussed out. Y'all be hearing. I hopped up and I went downstairs and I washed them damn dishes.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot, but
that would have been a good day for your boys to learn how to wash dishes.
No, they went with them.
They went.
To their aunt's house. So, but anyway, I agree with Sister Cassie. The funky ass white Jews bought the Department of Education.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been rigged since the beginning of the Department of Education. Rigged in favor of white people and rigged not in favor of Black people. So anytime you look into the history book of America, you don't see the real deal Holyfield. You see lies and deception and smoke and mirror. And I'm glad, if it is true and it is going to be gotten rid of, that there will be no more Department of Education. So, but my thing is, our home is cool. Our kids are learning, like I learned with my first wife and taught my kids the truth about us and our history and our culture and our language here in America and around the world. There were no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Now, at that point, I had to work. I couldn't stay at home and do the homeschooling, because homeschooling back then was just starting. So, but with this new movement going on and the idea that homeschooling is possible, then of course I want to step up and make sure that our kids have a great foundation and educational foundation that can be congruent to going to a school of a high quality, grade school, high school, and once they get through high school, they can go to like whatever college they feel like they want to go to, because they will be able to pass the SAT here in the Dominican Republic, because they do give it. So, but I question a lot of the parents in our community whether or not they have the wherewithal to teach uh, kids, and instead of just passing them off to white folks and white schools, because that is a death trap of the heart, soul, and mind. So I'm hoping, for the most part, that they do what they got to do to bring it home for their kids. Because if we don't, it's going to be going around in circles, man. I don't fear it, but I worry about that if that is the case, because we're so used to just passing our kids off to school. Okay, go to school, but what are you learning? You know what I mean. And I get a lot of great feeling in knowing, that my kid jumped one grade and the other one jumped one grade. You feel me? And that's coming from us. This is not when you go to the school, it ain't no babysitting. I mean, it's real rigid stuff, man. And they learn English, they learn Spanish, and now they're learning Hebrew, so they be able to speak it well, and to be able to write it well, and be able to read it well. So it's a lot of effort. You know what I mean? It ain't like 1 hour a day. It's like hours per day. Hours, man. It's just like they going to school. But I throw it back. Yeah.
I want to ask you this, because you're right. It takes hours. It's not a 5-10 minute thing. Do you believe that Black people are that they're not lazy, that they will actually take the time out and do the proper teaching that need to be done with their children?
Yeah. Yes and no. Yes, some. No, the greater part of it. Just like white folks. White folks ain't the most intelligent motherfuckers in America. Shit's about the dumbest motherfucker. You know what I mean? But everybody's different. I mean, that's the one great thing about it. I had been blessed to have a great education. I scored like 1450 on the SAT. I went to University of Hawaii. I could have gone somewhere else, but that's where I wanted to go. I denied all the other ones. But the idea is that it really depends. And if the parents don't have a good education, how in the fuck are you going to get that passed down to the other one, and making sure that they do it right? They just don't. I've seen, not personally, but I've seen through videos where some parents just be hollering and screaming. I can understand that, but you can't do that, because that just weighs down the child and make them not want to learn. But if it's a slow drip of an IV bag, you got to do it constantly, and I can see the result of that in our kids. So it has to be done on purpose and with intention and focus. And then when you have that, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I yell and scream. I'm like, how do you know that? Like today, and like, wait, what? What's that? Look. For example, right? 1 plus 3/3 plus 2. Now, a lot of people might get confused by 3/3, but 3/3 is 1. 1 plus 3/3, 1 plus 2 more, that's 4. So I try to, jive it, I guess, in a way, with fractions and all of this, and what that means, and how many thirds do you need to make a complete one. All of these things, it makes a big difference, man. Because once they see the basic and know the basics, like 0 times whatever number is 0, 0 plus 1 is always the same number, and the reverse of that is always the same. That 0 on top of 0 divided by 3 is always 0, but 3 divided by 0, you can't do it. You feel me? So once the kids know the basic of math, everything comes easy. And when I'm sitting down with them and I'm doing the Spanish thing, because we went to school, we learned English, and got English classes and all of that. it makes it a lot easier when you tackle the hard subject first, and then they looking at English like, man, this is nothing. Once they get the rhythm to it, you feel me? So no, we're not lazy. It's just a matter of how the intent and what the purpose of the parents who are at home every day. Some of them not even reading to their kids, and you don't need to read a lot. Just 30 minutes a day makes a hell of a lot of difference, man. It really does. And you don't need to be reading those 3, 4, 5 hours, man. It's overwhelming for a kid 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. And they're still developing their ability to think, their ability to rationalize, and their ability to take what's that word? Quantitative and qualitative analysis in what is being done, not only mathematically, but how all of these subjects are tied together: social science, math, chemistry. Once you get into that area, and all of that, it's just there is a connection between all of that. Hold on, there is a connection between all of that. So it's not just a separate subject. You have to, they will have to understand what the connection is in each one. And that's the beautiful part about our culture way back when and now, that we covered a lot of subjects when our kids were in school, especially in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s and all of that. We were doing way, way better than white folks, man. And what's the name of that movie? Where it was two black guys, two famous. One had got an eye looking like this, the other way. But anyway, I can't remember the name of that movie. It was oh shit, I think it was Denzel Washington was in it. I'm not sure, but anyway, that movie was about black kids debating white kids, and they won during in the 20s and 30s and stuff like that. But when you're looking at the I'm sorry, I keep going on, but when you're looking at the scores of the white kids back in the 1910, 20, 30, we just didn't do 5% better. We did 35, 40% better on the tests because we were educating our own. So I throw it back at you.
Okay. And the movie you were talking about is The Great Debaters with Denzel.
Okay. And the guy with the eye going the other way? Mm-hmm. Forrest Whitaker, right?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, all right, you got it.
Now, we know Brother Isaiah said something earlier that I didn't get a chance to ask him to expound on, but he talked about white people don't have culture. But we're going to look at another story, a brother named Corey Ali Muhammad. Brother Corey went on a killing spree in Fresno, California. And he went to go kill white men. I think he killed like 3 or 4. It started at a hotel. He was visiting a woman. Security guard come up there, told him, we need your ID so you can check in. Brother Corey didn't like the way he was talking to him. So he put a bullet in his ass, ran away, came back, got on top of the roof, and watched the police look for him. And he stayed up there for a while. Then he said, well, fuck it. Since I'm going to jail, I might as well take as many of them motherfuckers out that I can. So he went out, started looking for white folks. And when he saw them, pow, 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 he went out and started to kill them. Now, there's been several different people who have commented about Brother Muhammad. And me personally, I don't see Brother Corey as an evil individual. When he was at court, he spoke up. He talked about reparations, that is old black people. He talked about the treatment that black people received at the hands of white folks in the United States government, and that our treatment was ordered, was put in effect by white people for the protection of white people. And so he felt as though his killing them, God wanted him to kill them. So that's why they're dead, because God wanted them to die by his hands. So the question is, did he take up white folks' behavior? Was this a product of integration, assimilation? Or was this something that was separate from what any treatment that we have received here in America? Sis Cassie? Hold on, let me show the one part of the video first before we get into it.
A shooting spree in California. A suspect is in custody this morning, accused of killing 3 white men because of their race. ABC's Kana Whitworth is on the scene for us there in Fresno with details. Good morning, Kana.
Robin, good morning. Police are saying this was a hate crime solely based on race, that Corey Muhammad wanted to kill as many white men as he could before going to jail for a previous murder. Authorities say this is the gunman who went on a deadly shooting spree, killing 3 white men Tuesday morning.
Is anybody hearing this video?
No, I don't hear it.
It went out, Mark. No, it went out.
Okay, come on. I'm back. Can y'all hear now?
No.
Okay.
We heard the beginning of it, but then when it went to the second part, we didn't hear it.
Okay.
Isaiah, you do them dishes and the floors.
I see that.
The floors in the kitchen, the counters with the kitchen.
No, she don't like the way I wash dishes.
That's because you have.
You know, I look. No, she go through the whole ringer, man. Bleed.
Y'all hear it now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, just turn it up
Good
some.
morning. Police are saying this was a hate crime solely based on race, that Corey Muhammad wanted to kill as many white men as he could before going to jail for a previous murder. Authorities say this is the gunman who went on a deadly shooting spree, killing 3 white men Tuesday morning.
Yeah, we're going to get more units out here.
We just got another call in of 6 shots fired.
Authorities say the 39-year-old first opened fire on a PG&E truck at 10:45 a.m., shooting and killing the passenger. 34-year-old Zachary Randalls, the married father of 2, was a new employee on his first ride-along with the company.
He was just minding his own business. Minding his own business.
Suspect then firing at but missing a nearby resident, only to kill 2 more men before police apprehended him.
He made some spontaneous statements. I did it. I shot them.
2 months ago, Muhammad posted this video of a song to YouTube.
Death and destruction, murder and mayhem.
He yelled out, "Allah Akbar," as he was seated in the back seat of the patrol car.
Police believe this shooting was a hate crime and not related to terrorism.
Based on the information that we have been provided, this is solely based on race.
Of course, it's a hate crime. He did that because he hated them. But no, well, he hated them because of the color of their skin. It's not a good. No.
Police say Muhammad is also responsible for murdering another man last week, 25-year-old Carl Williams, a security guard at a nearby motel. Muhammad allegedly telling police he wasn't going to jail for shooting a security guard and was going to try and kill as many people as possible. Police charging him with 4 counts of murder and 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, saying the night that he killed that unarmed security guard, he also tried to kill his partner, but simply ran out of ammo. Robin?
Such a horrible story. Have they recovered the murder weapon?
Yeah, Robin, police are saying that after the shooting spree yesterday, Muhammad threw the gun into a pile of clothes. So they've been unable to find it at this point. Again, they do believe he used the same gun to kill the security guard and go on that deadly shooting rampage yesterday.
Terrible. All right, Kena, thank you. Horrible.
We have seen hate crimes rising all across the country this year.
Not everybody's going to be able to have concealed license to conceal and carry. And like where I live in Maryland, if even if we can carry, if you're on you're at a federal building on federal property, you're not allowed to have that weapon with you. And or you have to be able to get to the weapon before somebody can attack you. I mean, before you can defend yourself against an attacker. This is just ridiculous. No justifying this, but I got a longer rant that I have recorded in this situation, and I'm going to get to that right now. I mean, this rant is probably really not going to do any good, but I hope, if I want to go by my thing of, if I can just convince one person. So if I can convince one person that's contemplating something like this not to do it, then I think this rant is worthwhile.
My typical spiel of commenting on a news story is typically that it is yet another situation that exemplifies why you should study martial arts and or have a handgun. Now, this situation with Corey Ali Muhammad? I think that's what it was. Corey Allen Muhammad. He killed 4 white people because he doesn't like white people. See, there are white people who are taking martial arts classes and who have concealed carry permits. And that's a good reason why. Because somebody literally can come up and shoot you and try to kill you.
Oh, shut up.
The way
Sit
you
down.
look, like the color of your skin.
He needs to sit his ass down. Ain't nobody listening to him. You dummy. He trying to promote. Shut up.
And there's really not much else I can say about that, but that's yet another reason why you should take a martial arts class. But I do have something to say to anyone who's thinking about doing something like what Corey Muhammad did. I want you to think for a second. You say that this is mainly to non-white people, but it applies to anyone because their white people feel this way too. You say you're being oppressed
Oh my God.
by the government, or you say you're being oppressed by white people. So then, what do you think is going to happen if you go out and murder the type of people who you say are oppressing you? Then you get arrested by the type of people who you say are oppressing you. And then you're put in jail, an institution designed to punish you that's run by the type of people who are oppressing you. And then you're going to be tried by the type of people who are oppressing you. And then you're going to be sentenced by the type of people who are oppressing you. And then you're going to get thrown back in jail, probably because you
with people like you.
Human beings. You're going to get a really long jail sentence enforced by the type of people who are oppressing you. And if you're a black person who went to jail for killing white people, a white supremacist gang is probably going to try to kill you while you're in jail. And there may even be guards who are sympathizers and who are in on it, who will turn the other way and let them kill you. So you're going to die. Now, if you're a white person who did all the same thing, then you end up in jail. Because there is actually racism, you end up being in jail with a lot of people who you don't like. So if you're the white murderer going to jail, Dylan Roof, you're going to be in jail with black people who are probably going to try to kill you. And it could be a black guard who's sympathetic, and they may look the other way when the black supremacist gangs try to kill you. Corey Muhammad, I already spoke about you before. So that solution, we all know it's morally wrong, but I'm just saying this for the sake of argument because there are people who are going to try to act like it's not morally wrong. Even though murdering innocent people who have not done anything to you is wrong, but there are people who try to justify this in their minds. So I'm trying to speak to that.
Can he sit down some? I'm sick of him. I've heard enough. I'm serious. He just
go to jail.
God, you know.
What point is he trying to make? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He talked out his ass. He said nothing. White folk don't talk like this. When Dylan Roof went and shot all them people, he got a Burger King. Okay, black folk, the only one has something to say when black folk do stuff. White folk don't say shit. They come together, they support them no matter what. They raise millions of dollars, and they don't care what nobody say. Black folk got to come on here and impress massa. Shut the hell up. You ain't got nothing to say. Be quiet. I see absolutely nothing wrong with what he did because that's what the asses get because of how this system is set up. If this system wasn't set up so messed up, it wouldn't be all of what you see. This is DNA passed down from generation to generation. This is being fed up with their shit. This is being fed up with that racist stuff. This is being fed up with them telling you to forget it, just get over it. Blah, blah, blah. No, you get over it. When you pay us, get us separate. Let us be separate. Let us deal with us. Let us get the healing because you went through slavery. You didn't get healing, so it passed down from DNA to DNA. So this is a matter of what we're going through. So what we're going through is from what they put us through. So yes, this is called mental illness, PTSD, and every DDD you want to say. So what he talking about means absolutely nothing because he got some stuff with him right there. It's called coonery. I'm going to talk against my own, which is what we always do anytime something happens. And then it's a hate crime when we do stuff with them. But then when the police officers kill our babies unarmed, shooting through the car, because they saw the car is coming at them, but they find out when they do the autopsy that they shot him in the back of the head. So how was the car coming toward you when you see all them bullets in the back of your head when they killed a guy in Elizabeth City? So it's okay when they get a hate crime when we do what we do, but then when they do to us, we don't get no hate crime. It's no big deal, right? I don't see nothing wrong with what he did. He should have killed more. I'm just mad because he didn't kill more. I'm mad because he didn't get at least 10 of them. I'm just saying. He should have made up for some time. Seriously, they do us like that all the time, and no big deal. But then when black folk do it, oh, it's a big deal. Oh my God, oh my goodness, what is wrong with them? Well, what's wrong with us is what's wrong with you. It's caused by you, the way you've treated us, the whole system that's set up, that you set up against for black people to fail, for us not to be able to get business loans, for us not to be able to get ahead. So all of this, we're gonna go back to slavery with this. You can't get over something that's still happening today. So when they tell us to get over it, when you have black folk tell me, oh, stop being victims. Bitch, we are victims. We've been victims for a long time. And until they till we get the training and the healing that we need and the reparations that you owe us, and we can separate and do our own thing, and then get some healing from all of this right here, well, I'm good. But until then, keep killing them. Absolutely nothing. And
I want to ask because you have two black men, Corey Muhammad and this idiot.
Yeah.
But they were both produced by America.
Exactly.
Now the question has to be, how can one country produce two different opposite same men? Did one assimilate, one integrate, and another separate? How did you come up with two different ideologies with black men that both came out of America? These are products of America. Now, Mayat said that they hated us first. Mayat said they hated us first. William Bell said they're gonna try and kill you anyway because you black. What else here? Mayat said, frustration mixed with righteous vengeance. Now, Earth Angel talked about the Mexican dude that went crazy in the Pennsylvania hospital and went on a shooting spree and shot up. I think he killed one cop and wounded like 3 or 4 other people. So here you have.
This is what America does.
I don't know whether the Mexican was legal or illegal. I haven't the foggiest idea, but definitely wasn't getting white folk treatment, I would assume. But here you have these different people coming up out of a similar experience. I say similar with the Mexican, but with the black, the same experience, but the crop is different. Which route did they take to get to where they are today? Now, Sister Mayat says, Muslims seek revenge, Christians seek forgiveness. Interesting, interesting. Sister Cassie, which route did these men take?
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about yourself.
Okay.
You don't think like him. Same black man, same America. What happened? He's more after pleasing massa. That's the coon nigga. That was the one that was in the house.
Right.
We would have been the one in the field. They would have there put me in the house. I'm just saying. So there you have two different experiences, because I'm sure he was raised up, brought up, went to a white school. Okay. He just was coonerized. Okay. The other guy didn't. Yeah, it was given to us, but we didn't bite the bullet. We wasn't going that route because I went to a Catholic school. We were integrated, but I still couldn't stand white folk because I saw how they treated us and how they treated them. Whole lot of stuff. I wouldn't even be friends with them because I know how they are. No, we're not doing that. I remember growing up, we had some white folk around us, and the one sister, she was like a drug addict, and the other sister, she was, it was just, the family was just dysfunctional, right? And my mom wanted me to ride to school with them. And I said, no, I didn't want to be around them. So I had some black friends. I rode to school with them. I don't want to be around them because they was dysfunctional. A lot of what they was doing, I was like, it made no sense. You got one, she getting high, she in the basement, her boyfriend didn't graduate, just some dysfunctional. Then you had the other one, it was just, I don't want to be around that, right? I never wanted to be in the atmosphere of them. Seriously. So I went to, my mom asked me, hey, she thought I was riding with the white folk. They crazy. They got some issues. I don't want to be around that type of behavior. But she was thinking that, okay, you know how most parents think, that, if they white, they right. No, they weren't, because they was doing a whole lot of stuff I wasn't even doing. So you want me to be impacted by that behavior? No, I'm riding with the black people. So of course, but you have to understand, he was coonerized. We were not. We didn't bite a bull. He did. That's the difference. Even though his parents went through the same thing our great-great-grandparents went through, he just decided to ignore it. He decided to forgive. He decided to not fight back. He decided to just, I don't see anything here, nothing to see here. I'm gonna just, hey, I'm just gonna, don't be seen. I'm gonna stay out the way. I'm gonna dig my head in the sand. You can't see me. I don't see you. And, even though your butt's sticking up, everybody see you there. But just the meaning, just his heart, just because of who he is, he just didn't want, you got passive black folk, hey, don't say nothing. They, just don't say nothing. I'm not here, out of sight, out of mind. No, you're still getting the same treatment everybody else is. You have just chosen to check out. We have chosen to make a difference, put it in your face to make sure you don't forget where you came from. He has forgotten where he's come from, or was never he was taught it, just ignored it. But we had the same type of household, went to the same schools, got the same treatment, but I chose to see truth. He chose to see nothing. I'm gonna ignore the white folk, nothing to see here. They cool with me. They, so I'm gonna do what I can to get along. I'm gonna please massa. And that's what type of black folk you got.
And so I would assume that you would say that there's no hope for that type, correct?
That type is done. We'll have to kill him before, in order for us to get free, past him to get to massa, we're gonna have to kill him first. Just go ahead, knock him in the head, get it out the way. Don't even try to talk to him. Just go ahead and do what you got to do. Get past him to get to massa. Because you already know, just have a list of your coons. When you see them, just go ahead and take them out. Don't try to convince them. Don't try to talk to them. Don't try to just move. Here you go. Boom. And then let's get massa. Let's do what we got to do. He's done. You could never, ever, ever convince him nothing, because he's going to die the way he is today. He will die thinking that they're his friends. and they can shoot him, and he'll be, oh, you shot me. I thought we were friends. That's exactly how he would die. One of them crackers would take him out. He'll sweep him down. We were best friends though. What happened? He was never your friend, dummy. But you were too blind to understand it. You didn't know who your enemy was. You didn't learn the tactics, even though they've been here forever. Black folk have forgotten. We've forgotten who the enemy is, and we've forgotten their tactics, and we keep forgetting. We keep forgetting. I'll rest with that.
Now, I want to ask this because I think, yes, Maya, to deal with Maya, what she said, that they hated us first. And Brother Corey, when he was being interviewed, you know, the interviewer asked him, do you feel bad for the 4 people that you killed? And his response was no. He said, no. Because they don't feel bad about the atrocities that they committed on my people.
Exactly.
So there is nothing that Brother Muhammad, he's not one that's looking for sympathy or anything like that. Every time they question him, he hit them back with, this is what you did to my people.
Exactly. And they need to remember that. Right.
And the way they deal with it, they like wipe it away like he didn't say it.
Right.
His lawyers tried to get him to be committed to the hospital because they kept saying, this nigga is crazy. You listen to what he's saying, he's crazy.
But you did it.
Exactly.
But you did it. But my thing is, when we go to court, we can never bring that up. We can't bring up what they did to us because they don't listen. We can. I've never seen a case where they said, well, you know, for instance, Ozone. He never did talk about that cop's past. You couldn't bring up how he was a police officer, his criminal background. You couldn't pull up his record. You could never pull up anything. Well, this is how they treat black folks. So I was afraid for my life because in the past, this is how they treat black people. None of that was said. Why? Why is it we go to court when we do what we do and we can never revert our behavior back to how they treated us in the past? It's always from here on up. It's never from there to up here. Let's see what happened in the past and see why did he do this? What brought him to this point right here? Never. It goes from here on up. It never goes. Ozone didn't mention nothing about police officers, how they treated black folk. They didn't mention nothing about how they was killing black folk. They never mentioned the code that the police officer said. They never mentioned his background. If he had any criminal, if he had a record, if the police officer had any misbehaviors, you know, didn't never mention anything about the police officer, did they? Why? So we can't bring none of that up in court, huh? Even though whatever happened between them two, one ended up there, one ended up walking away. But how did we get here? We don't even discuss that. Why? That needs to be very first talk. Let's talk about how did it get here? How did it get to when I'm sitting in my car alone by myself, minding my business, that you came up to my car? I wasn't bothering you. How'd you know I was in my car? Because if you just riding past, you wouldn't have known I was in my car. So was you watching me? You feel what I'm saying? Exactly. It never got that, did it? No questions about the police officers. Where was you sitting, and why was you on his street sitting outside of his house? So that means you came for some dirt. Nobody asked them questions, did they? They just went from here on out.
Exactly.
We got to start bringing up some other stuff. We got to start bringing up this is why I did what I did, because I was afraid for my life because of how y'all treat us in the past. How every time we buy ourselves, we get beat up. We get beat to death. We get drugged. We get killed. We get murdered. We get, they'll shoot our children up with animal tranquilizers and kill Elijah. Okay? We walking by ourselves. We got a hoodie on and we get attacked. And then we get drugged and then we die. But you don't bring nobody up on charges. See, we don't talk about none of that. We got to talk about here and today.
You know, it has to be because I don't know how you can honestly deal with the problem but you don't want to go to the root of it.
Exactly.
You
Just
don't
like
wanna
this
go
young
to
man
the-
here talking about, oh, reliable, what's going on with Haiti. If you really understood what's going on with Haiti, you wouldn't even ask that question. America's what's going on with Haiti. Now do your homework and ask yourself what's going on with Haiti. They've been messing with Haiti for a long time. Haiti was the top dog, right? So that's a good example right there. What's going on with Haiti? You taking today, you're not going back in the past to find out the history of Haiti. Haiti was number one. Clinton brought their asses over there and destroyed everything Haiti was building. And we all know why. Let's go all the way back when they kicked them white folks behind. That's what's wrong with Haiti, because Haiti stood up for themselves. And now America got their hand in Haiti. Haiti is not even being in charge of their own. You have foreigners that's not even Haitian over Haiti. Why is that? So let's talk about that. You got an Indian guy on top of Haiti. Look up Haiti president was killed. Look, Haiti ain't got no black president. They got an Indian guy. They had a black president, but they killed him. Remember, they killed him.
Right.
They had somebody to kill him, right?
Uh-huh.
Wife alive, but killed him. And now they got some, who knows? God knows. That's what's wrong with Haiti. America's wrong with Haiti. Then you got the dude barbecue. He said, "We tired of y'all. Get out of Haiti. Get out." They want them out of Haiti. They tired of crackers in Haiti. They tired of y'all. That's what's going on with Haiti. Oh, reliable. Go do your homework. Got a whole lot of mess going on in Haiti because they want that land. That land is so rich. Same thing with Congo. That land is so rich. That's why they keep doing what they're doing in the Congo. Congo and the Civil War. And you know why? Because of America. The coups. That's why. You can't leave black folk alone. We can't have no peace. But I tell you what, if they start killing them up, like Muhammad did, I guarantee they leave you alone. Like our brother Muhammad, what's his name, Corey?
Yeah.
I guarantee they'll leave you alone till you start fighting them back. Got barbecue over there. The gangster. They want to call him a gangster because he wants the white folk up out of Haiti. They forecast. They tired of them crackers in Haiti. They sick of them. They keep they keep mess going everywhere they are. They keep mess going amongst black folk. And until we understand who our enemy is and we start kicking their behinds when they come over there and killing them up, they'll stop coming over there. This is what's wrong with the history of it. Go ahead.
The guy, the new president of Haiti. Let's see.
Look at there. He ain't no Haitian. What he doing president of Haiti? Why we got a white dude over Haiti? Where's the black people at? We don't need them over Haiti. We don't need them over black folk. Black folk know how to rule. If America will stay after stuff, Clinton came over there and took the rice plantations out, gave it to his brother-in-law here in Arkansas. So now you can't even develop nothing in Haiti. Clinton did that. The man that they said was a black folks president.
He look Asian, don't he?
I don't know. He an Indian dude or something. He ain't black. He ain't no Haitian. What he doing over Haiti? That's what's wrong with Haiti. Oh, reliable. Now tell me what's wrong with Haiti. People come running their mouth without doing research. Do your research. Haiti was fine until America started putting their hands in stuff. I get so sick of crackers sitting up there putting their hand on everything and then talking about what's wrong with us. They can't leave us alone. That's what's wrong with us. Separate but equal. That's what's wrong with us. We should have never came together with them. That's what's wrong with us. And then we got a guy like this. He don't have Haiti. He don't have them black folk interests at heart. He don't give a dang about no black folk.
Earth Angel say, why are they killing each other and raping their women?
Why we kill each other over here and rape our women? Why we do that over here? The same reason. The white folks, the same reason. It don't change. It'll never change. As long as you don't understand your history, this is why we do what we do. We're doing the same thing over here. Don't act like it's just in Haiti. It's over here too. It's everywhere you see black folk and you got white folk mixed in, you're going to have this problem. Until black folk get together and get to understanding who they really are. We didn't have this in the 70s. We didn't have this in the 60s. We didn't have them when black folk was together and loving on their own. Wasn't killing each other like this. We go to their schools and won't even fight the white folk. We fight each other. What's that called? Brother Muhammad, what's that called? Brainwashing? What's that called? Fight each other, we don't fight them. Because we don't know our history. And you that mixed in with them. It's hard to act. We act just like them, do we not? We act just like them crackers. That's why. They fight their own, like Russia and Ukraine. That's white on white crime, right? Okay, we got the same thing. If they didn't have black folk to fight, we have each other to fight, they be killing up each other. Move us out the way, they'll go back to killing. That's what they did in the Roman days, didn't they? They fought each other. They weren't fighting. They had no black folk to fight. They killed each other. They don't like each other either. You think we the only ones don't? They don't like each other. They have taught you how they are. They don't like each other. They taught you how to hate your woman. They've taught you how to hate your man.
Now, they say he is Haitian. They said he was born there, but he was educated in America.
There you go, right there. What was educated at?
He was educated here in America.
Come on now. So what you think that's
Cornell
about?
University.
And then they sent him back to go be over them black folk, didn't they? Do he look Haitian to you? He don't look Haitian to me. Does he look Haitian to you? Just because you got some Africans, white folk that came from Dutch, the blood, where's his bloodline at? His bloodline is not Haitian. His bloodline came from somewhere else. India, somewhere. His bloodline is from where? That's not no Haitian. Just because you born there don't mean you're Haitian.
Right.
You got Africans that white came from Dutch. They born in Africa will tell you I'm African. Get out of here. Your DNA is Dutch. Your DNA is Britain. Your DNA is German. Your DNA is not African. That's not a Haitian. That's not Haitian blood. Just because you born there don't mean you're no Haitian. America trained him up and then sent him back over there. So now that's America's puppet. So that's what's going on in Haiti.
So I'm going to see what more information we can get on this guy.
See where his background at. Who his mom and daddy is. His mom and daddy came from somewhere. Grandparents came. Grandpappy and grandmammy came from somewhere. Didn't come from Haiti. Not looking like that. I guarantee you that. That's what's wrong with Haiti. What's wrong with black folk in America? White folk got us hating on each other. They've been training our children for 70 years to hate each other. Now men don't even want black women. They want white nothings. White trash cans. Okay? That's what's wrong with black folk in America. Anytime you got some white folk educating you and got some white folk over you, you're going to have this problem. Because very slyly, symbolically, they're teaching you every day. Every single day, they're teaching you how to hate each other. Every single day. And you say, but I don't see it. Look at your music. Look at your music and your TV. What you see? You see any love it? Every time you got a black movie, you got drugs, hoes, and what? Pimps. Drugs, hoes, and pimps. Every time you got a black movie, you ain't got nothing like the Bill Cosby's. Remember Bill Cosby back in the 70s? He had a wife, he was a doctor, she was a doctor, and they had a good family. Then now what they got? Baby mamas, baby boys. What was that? Boys to Men. Who was that? What was that? Baby, what was baby? The baby daddy, Trey. Oh my goodness, y'all know what movie I'm talking about. The man was raising his boys, and they was in the project. You got all that stuff.
Boys in the Hood.
Yes, okay, Boys in the Hood. You got who was that in the wheelchair? I think that's the same movie, right? He, dude was in the wheelchair at the end. He was on drugs. His brother was getting ready to go to college. He got shot, and the other brother Yeah, you got you got all that dysfunction. Then you had the mama who kid was in the street, she was on drugs. That's what kind of black movies we get from them Jewish people. That's all. I'm just saying. That's what they put in your neighborhoods because they own the movie theaters. They own the music. They own the entertainment, and then they throw the rock, hide their hands, and got a blackface in front of it. Okay, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
On 100.
Don't play with me.
And I can't find nothing about his parents.
Of course you can't. But he wasn't no Haitian. Ain't no Haitian looking like that. Haitian look like us. That ain't no Haitian. So what, you was born there? My DNA is from Africa. I'm born here, but my DNA is Africa. His DNA don't say no Haitian. Then they send him to America. America trained him up. Now go down there and let us run that country. But we're gonna put your face, but America doing what they want to do down there. That's why they got the Civil War down there, because they sick of America's bull crap. That's why barbecue down there. Look up the man barbecue. He going to tell you why they in what they're doing out down there. They sick of these crackers being over them and doing their land. Won't even give them jobs. Won't even give them nothing to eat. Them people starving down there. America going to hell for what they doing to them people. So they gonna pay. They gonna pay. You better believe that. You ain't gonna keep treating people the way you treat them. That's why they calling right now. The Hillary Clinton went over there and had an orphanage, and they was taking them people's babies. How about them babies didn't have no parents? Them parents was right there in Haiti.
Definitely. Maya, if you can find something about his parents, could you share that with me? Because I'm searching, but I'm not coming up with nothing. It's like, for whatever reason, the internet is not even acknowledging that I'm asking a different question. This is crazy.
And if you continue to allow somebody, sometimes you don't even know you're being smacked upside the head because you've been in this position for so long. You can meet a person to be traumatized your whole life and just be in one traumatizing relationship after another. Because if you don't understand that that's not normal behavior, if that's all you knew, then that's all you know. You don't know how to change that behavior. They have no idea. He is a puppet. They don't have no idea how to change that behavior. They don't even know, just like we act here in America, we don't even know how to change it. We should be changing some things too. We could say that about ourselves. We need to be starting our own business. We need to be separating from these crackers. We need to take our children away from their schools. But do we do it? We're doing the same thing, Earth. We're doing the same thing. Black folk here in America doing the same thing, baby.
Yeah, Maya said he's a puppet. I know she knows a lot about Haiti.
He is a puppet. He gonna do what them white folk tell. He gonna do what America, because America paying him. They got rid of the black man, and then they put who was a puppet, who decided not to give his people the medicine. Right? They came in and killed him, and then they're gonna replace him with that thing right there. Their own. They replaced him with their own. Ain't nothing Haitian about him. He don't give a dang on about them Haitian people. He don't care. He looking good. I don't see him missing no meals. But half his country is starving to death, living in feces and living like crazy.
Isaiah, you don't know nothing about this man. You live right next door to him.
No, he don't even like Haitian food. He don't even like black.
Nah, we don't want them worthless ass niggas over here.
See there? See? Don't start, Isaiah.
Nah, we don't went through this before.
Mute yourself. Yep, mute yourself.
They are not my people.
Of course they not.
They're not my. Look.
In Dominican is though.
They allowed the dick of the Clintons to go all up in that ass.
Yeah.
And didn't do shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You did.
They didn't do shit. So why the fuck would we want them over here? They whole country is fucked up.
Listen to that.
Don't want that. Listen to me. We don't want that.
Listen to
we don't want that. They look. We've been through that with a war with them after getting Spain off our back. And then they took over and started getting on our back. Man, fuck them. No. I do not like Haitians, even though my first granddaughter, my first girlfriend was a Haitian, pretty man, blacker than black. Long hair and everything. But but no. Close the border.
Ain't
Cause
that something?
these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about fucking up our shit.
Ain't
I'm
that
here to
something?
tell you. They kill more Dominican than Dominican kill more
Ain't that
than
something
Dominican.
right there?
You feel me? So no, I have no bleeding heart for Haitian
Ain't
people.
that
I
something?
understand it. I
Mhm.
feel you. But
Mhm.
y'all better try to get another Haitian revolution going
Mm.
to free
But
your
don't look,
ass from all that
but don't look
bullshit.
to y'all to help them, huh?
Nah, because Haiti is not poor. It's very, very wealthy. Very wealthy. But what African country over there trying to do something? I forget.
But wait a minute, you just said something very real. But Africa's a very rich country too, but they still have issues too. So that's what's
Yeah,
going on with Haiti. The same thing going on with
yeah,
Africa is going on with Haiti.
right,
But
right.
you
But
have one guy that's in Africa that's trying to free his people, and they tried to kill that man 20 times. 20,
right, right.
20, 20
But
times.
look, I believe wholeheartedly that Burkina Faso and Haiti gonna get it together. Cause we were talking about, it's only a matter of time before you get tired of the bullshit, and then you start to take control of what you want to do
You don't think they tired
politically.
of it?
Huh?
You don't think Haiti is tired of it?
Of course, but look, I don't know, but if I was over there, I'd be picking up arms and killing everybody in the government and throw the government out. You know what I mean? It's just like the cartel down there in Mexico. They run the fucking government. I was just watching that today, Brother Muhammad, Brother Maurice. They raking in $50 billion a year, man, if not more.
Who?
God damn, the
Who?
CJ, the Mexican cartel down there in Mexico,
Yeah.
and the leader named the drugs and avocado. It's very interesting. So, but like we always say on the show, if you do evil, you will die by that motherfucker. It never lasts, and El Mencho is on his way out. So it ain't gonna be but a minute. It
Just like,
always fails. The
but just
drug game
like,
always fails. I used to be a part of the drug game. I'm not no cocaine. I was selling
okay, you
marijuana.
can't tell everything on national TV.
Hmm?
You can't
No, you're not going to see me on no TV.
That's
No,
your thing. You ain't got to tell everybody. Oh my God, you don't know where to stop, do you?
no. Look, when I got out of, I'm gonna tell you
You gonna keep on
as much
telling
as I can tell you without indicating myself.
you just did. So I
Well,
think you
no,
should leave us
not
alone.
really, not really. But that Hawaiian marijuana. I mean, God, woo, you
Okay.
take you take two whiff of that you done for the day. So I would 20 going on 20 almost. So that was like in my first year and a half of University of Hawaii. But yeah, we made money. It was a group of us, and I can
Okay.
tell you, when we bought it, the what do you call it? The
How we get in that
yakuza. Yeah,
conversation?
the yakuza came up in a man. I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. The
How we get on that
yakuza came.
conversation?
The yakuza came and sold us all of what we wanted. It was like it was three of us, and we got like four big clumps
Mm, mm,
of,
mm. You
yeah,
want to give
because it
us
was
their
12.
names? Give us the name. Who was it? What's the names?
Four. There was four clumps, three people. So yeah, we did good, but that was not the life I wanted to live, man. I don't believe in killing people.
Like you feel so
And
bad.
when I look, I swear to God, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know me by now. But
Okay.
yeah, I could have been, I could have went the wrong way. But I remember in the look of my mother's face, and the words of my father, and the street game is it's a motherfucker, man. I'm not built for that. So that's the reason why I gotta get my money out. And I told the guys I'm out. Shit. And I mean, no. So, but yeah, it's been one with with these people, man. So it's it's going to take a lot of internal eradication of the dissension that exists within the government, because the government is behind all of this, and they're getting paid to sit on their hands, just like the Mexican government with the cartel down there.
That's right.
You know, so
That's right.
I
We
don't.
have to understand that. Just like if Angel said something about Ghana. Yes, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Mali, all of them are opening the borders. What's that tell you?
Right.
All of them right now are opening, giving you free citizenship now. That
Right. Okay.
Burkina Faso just said, hey, if you're black, come on. They're gonna give you citizenship. Sierra Leone
Wow.
said the same thing. You have Ghana, Ivory Coast, they said the same thing. So all,
Right.
and then you had what's the Bantu person? They also said the
What's up,
same
bro?
thing.
What's up, bro?
Hang on. Uh-huh.
What do you mean that filter? That old?
Hold on.
So yeah, man, that was a very interesting video, Brother Marie. Man, I like God. These motherfuckers are killing machine. El Mencho, but man, yeah, it's man, that's horrifying in one sense, but you know, it always come crashing down. You always lose, man. You don't win.
You know, we're going to go ahead and move. We're going to go ahead and move to closing comments. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on tomorrow. And in your closing comments, I wanted to ask you, is it possible for a football player, black guy, to be bullied? Even if he weighs 250 pounds and the person that's bullying him weighs 250 pounds, is it possible for him to be bullied? So answer that question as you make your closing comments. Sister Cassie?
Let me ask, did you guys see the video where the little boy and Go Black talked about this video, and I think I sent it to you, where the little boy was going up the slide, and there's a white boy that was a little bitty white boy, about maybe 3 or 4, and the black boy was probably maybe 10, right? I'm just guessing. And the little white boy had his hands out, like trying to stop the little boy from coming up the slide. So the little black boy, who was 10, big boy, looked at his mom like, oh my God, what do I do? And the mom took over and started teaching her son. Right then was a teachable moment to allow her son to talk him through what to do in situations like that. So instead of the mom talking the son into it, she took over the conversation, said, don't treat my baby like that. Mistake number 1, she did not teach her son how to fight for himself. Number 2, so when the little boy got, she told the little boy, excuse me, so little white boy moved, and then she went on to say, that's my baby, don't treat my baby like that, tell my baby you sorry. It was her baby. It wasn't teaching him how to handle that situation, because what if you're not there tomorrow and that same situation happens? Your mom is not there to tell the little boy to move. How are you going to handle it? The little boy didn't even know. The big boy that was 10 looked at his mom like, what do I do? She didn't educate him on what to do with bullies, because the little boy was 4. So yes, I believe that. After seeing that, I'm gonna send it to you. I got to send it to you. That thing tripped me out. I was so upset. I'm like, dude, you have to tell him how to handle this. So if you're not there, he's going to know how to handle that. But then people was talking about the mom. I'm like, if the dad was there, he probably would have known how to handle that little boy, because the dad would have handled his business right then that day and said, boy, if you don't handle, you know what I'm saying? Dad would have handled that totally different. Because I think the daddy would have told the little boy what to do in that situation, teach and train him for the future. But nobody was there to teach him and train him. So what did mom do? The mom cuddled him. So I think, yes, it's very possible for a 200-pound football player to be bullied by a 100-pound player. I think it's very possible. Yes. But my closing, even with that, let's start teaching our children what to do about these bullies. Let's start teaching them, when you see your child in a serious situation, don't get in there and handle that situation. Teach them how to handle situations. Talk them through it. Talk him through it. So it's not, because it's going to happen again. What's he going to do the next time that happens to him? What's he going to do? How is he going to handle it the very next time that happens? Nothing, because he didn't learn the first time. So he's going to be a bully. He's going to either be scared and not fight, or turn around and retreat and go back the other way and allow the little white boy to have the whole slide. Because that's what he was going to do in the first place. Because he looked at it, he was going back to his mom. Looked at her like, now what? And she jumped in there and handled that whole situation for him. Didn't even teach him how. So he still don't know how. Fought the whole thing for him. I'm going to send that to you. You got to see that one. You got to see that thing right there. That thing, woo, I was mad. I rest my mic with that.
All right. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Brother Isaiah.
That's a good question, man. Thinking back when my little boy was in pre-K, he got into a fight. And I didn't even teach him anything. He ended up hitting the little boy in the eye. I was so damn proud. But I didn't act like I was proud. You know. But when we got home, I told him, "You can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing that." But I'm proud of that you were able to defend yourself. Now I don't know what happened, whatever the case, but that made me feel good. But when it comes down to your kids, man, in this world we live in, there's always somebody bigger, better, faster, and so on and so forth. You got to pick your fight, and sometimes it's best to walk away because trouble is easy to get into and hard as a motherfucker to get out of.
Yeah,
We've seen people in the moment of fear or in the moment of anger, somebody gets killed. You know, and you sitting up there in jail, you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, and your whole life is gone. You know what I mean? And you got to now deal with niggas who trying to fuck you, stab you, beat you up. You know, jail is not a Riviera kind of situation. So I always reflect back to what my mother always says: stay out of trouble, stay focused. No, stay focused, stay out of trouble, and make good choices. And I try to impart that a little bit of wisdom onto our kids every day, and to avoid situations that you can avoid to keep your black ass out of trouble. But on the other hand, you have to use a little bit of common sense, and common sense ain't common. And that reflects upon the parents and what Sister Cassie was talking about, the home training. Certainly, every child needs to know how to defend themselves, verbally and physically. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, not what you do, it's how you do it. But when it comes down to the get down, you got to do what you got to do to defend your life because you only got one. And I told my boys, look, if it comes down to you fighting like the demon, you fight. There is no fair fight. Pick up a rock or whatever you can find, or you get lucky enough to get in a good lick and they get fall down and beat the shit out of them because that's how it is. But when it comes to a 250-pound guy getting his ass whooped by a 130-pound guy, you need to get your ass whooped. Nigga, what? And you a football player? You need to get your ass whooped. That's what that is. But we've seen time and time again. It's not the size of the person; it's what that person knows. And I off the top of my head, I remember Michael J. White was talking about I could beat up Bruce Lee. No, nigga. No, nigga. No. Like, what fantasy world are you living in, nigga? Bruce Lee will whoop your ass in like 3 or 5 seconds. You feel me? I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. He is a good fighter, but you're not in the same league, man. As and I follow Wing Chun. You know what I mean? these guys have a great understanding of fighting. And even though Bruce Lee took up Wing Chun with the Yip Man but didn't complete it, that's the reason why he went off on a tangent and created Jeet Kune Do. You know what I mean? But he would even tell you there's a guy who was a step teacher of Bruce Lee, Wang Shanglong. That Wang Shanglong beat the shit out of Bruce Lee because he was a student of his, and he showed up for class, and he told all the other students that were coming that Wang Shanglong wasn't there, and he found out about it, found Bruce Lee, and beat the shit out of him. So everybody got their own, everybody got somebody that can beat your ass. That doesn't mean that's because you're 250 pounds don't mean you can throw that weight around. I've seen on YouTube where street people come off the street, go into a gym, and challenge these boxers who are professional, I guess, I don't know, and getting their ass whooped. 230-pound guy going into a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right? BJJ, getting their ass whooped by a woman. So it just really depends. But you sometimes the best thing to do is to run, because a good run beats a bad stand any day. That don't mean you're a chicken shit. That just means you save your battle for another day. You feel me? And then all that other stuff, man. Yeah, I want to enter my kids into boxing so they know how to box. So they got that here in the Dominican. They got a lot of things there, but I wanted them to understand the footwork and because I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I just don't see the now I just don't see my kids growing up and not knowing in the situation that they're in, whether it's crucial or not to fight. If it is, beat that ass. Like my mother, like my father taught me, and let it be what it's gonna be. I'm not saying you kill, but if you do kill, then I will be there. Because there got to be a reason behind that shit. And I told my kids, don't go to jail for nothing. That I will not be there. I don't do prison. Just like my mother and my father told me, they'll get me out of some shit that legitimate. But if I'm just going there because I don't know, for whatever reason, like I told some, I gotta go to jail, nigga. That's the bottom line. You think I'm lying? My parents did not play that shit. My parents did not play that dumb shit, man. I like, oh shit, that woke me up. And then you start thinking about what's the name of that show? Scared Straight. They had me to sit down and watch that bullshit. They had one guy. I'm sorry, but they had one guy, a prison guy with hair on his chest. And they told the boy he was standing in line, comb my hair on my chest, and don't you hurt me. I'm like, what nigga? What the fuck, man? Prison ain't no fucking joke. But I throw it back at.
All right, thank you, brother Isaiah. All right, good night, my I want to thank everybody who joined us. I want to also welcome the forecast to the platform. Peace and blessings, bro. We're glad you're here. I want to welcome Old Reliable to the program. Peace and blessings, brother Old Reliable. We are glad you are here. And like I said, tomorrow I will be doing a live talking about this question about a big old football player being bullied. So don't miss out on that one. I think it will be very pivotal because we're in a time, we're moving forward where you better be prepared to handle situations regardless to whom or what. I don't care how big the person is. I don't care how small the person is. You better be able to handle your business straight up. You got people who look just like us but want to do you harm, and you ain't got time to turn the other cheek. You ain't got time for it at all. So, we got to be ready for whom or what. Our lives are precious. It's very important. You know, I had a Muslim girl today at work. She was coming to get her prescriptions. Her prescriptions wasn't ready because there was an error with it. And I told her, your medication is not ready. It's an error. And it was a narcotic that she was trying to pick up. And she was like, well, just give me some pills until y'all get the thing squared away. I said, I can't do that. It's illegal. That's against the law. I can't do that. And then she gets upset. And so she started going all that. Oh, you so disrespectful. You are rude. Da, 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 da. I say, only thing I said to you is that we can't do that. It's illegal. Well, y'all did it before. I said, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't know nothing about before. I know about what's right now. We can't do that. And she said, well, you are so disrespectful and rude. How? The only thing I said is you can't do it. It's against the law. You know, she said, well, you know, my grandmother said, it's not how you say it. It's not what you said. It's how you said it. So I said, okay, well, you know, if I said something wrong, if I said it the wrong way, I apologize. Ain't no biggie. You know, I said, well, go have a seat. We're working on it to see if we can get everything fixed. When they finally did get it fixed, they gave it to another person to deal with her. And she's like, he is so rude. He is so disrespectful. I mean, just ran a whole list. And the person was like, well, who are you talking about? That nigga down there. That's what I'm talking about. And they look at me and I look at them and it's like,
well, you were the only nigga?
And, you know, it was so funny. And so, you know, she asked for my name and they wouldn't give her my name. So she came over, take a picture of my ID. And, you know, I'm going to put a claim against you because you this, you that, and you that, you that. I'm like, okay, sister, have a good day. Have a good day. You know, oh, you being sarcastic. No, I'm honestly being real with you. I want you
She needed her drug. That's what all that was. Her ass was a drug dealer, drug addict, needed a drug. That's all. You had a gave up pill, she'd shut the hell up.
Exactly.
She couldn't get her pills.
Exactly. You know, and it's crazy. But that's what it is. That's what it is. We have people that's coming for us in all shades, all shapes, all sizes. And we better be prepared to be on the battlefield. So check it out tomorrow. Probably go on about 6. And we're going to be talking about that. Or I'm going to be teaching on that tomorrow. And we got getting Doc back into the flow of things. We get that schedule squared away. And we got some other programs that's coming to the forefront that I believe y'all will definitely love. That's added to our Sunday night. Our Sunday night is the program of the week. It is our star jewel, and we definitely love it. And we thank everybody for joining in. And as we always say,
hold on. Let me say that. I'm sorry. Forecast Radio. Please check your messenger on Facebook. All right, let's get it. As we always say, you kill a nigga, and you and I kill a nigga, and our God reigns supreme. We are Black first, today, tomorrow, and forever. And for the next 24/7, 365, baby, stay black. Fuck always.
Oh, Reliable, it's definitely good to see you back, big bro. Glad that you're here. Most definitely. All right. Thank you, Brother Isaiah. Thank you, Sister Cassie.
Peace, family.
Peace.
All right, love y'all, man.
So you better get the message and get it straight. You're going to need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.